Hello, hello,
Yo, yo, what's up?
hello.
I'm just gonna post this in uh, some channels, and you
Yeah,
already know what the setup is, so you can tell me that in a second. But I'm gonna mute, and you feel free to just run with the commentary for a little bit.
yeah, for sure. So are you up now?
Oh yeah, we're live, baby.
Okay, cool. Perfect. There we go. Yeah, not sure what was going on with all those technical difficulties that I was having. But that's all right. We got a stream up and going. So it looks like here they're just finishing deployment. I'll quickly go over lists while they do. So as the blue player, we have MD Cool Edge playing a T-Series tactical droid with aggressive tactics and comms relay, Maul with force push, saber throw, tenacity, an AAT with the series pilot droid to give that coordinate, high energy shells and armor piercing shells, as well as link targeting array. We have Maul's DRK-1 Sith probe droids with a comms relay, two BX commando droid strike teams. However, one of them, only one, has offensive push. And then we have one, two, three, four, 5 units of B1s. One of them has a worker droid, and that is it. So playing the Rebels is Mitrikin, and we have Jyn Erso with Vigilance, Situational Awareness, and her config, Cassian Andor with Offensive Push,
Thank you so much.
and
I
Sniper
really
config.
appreciate
His loadout was Situational Awareness, but he looks like he's opted for Offensive Push. K2SO with Jin's Blaster, two fully kitted out units of Rebel veterans with their heavy weapon, the comms tech, an HQ uplink, recon intel, and offensive push, two naked Mark II blasters, a Pathfinder unit with offensive push, Bistan, the config, ascension cables, and an HQ uplink, and an air speeder with wedge, power harpoon, and a comms jammer. Rounding it out, it looks like there are 3 units left to deploy on the table. The mission is key positions, it is major offensive, as well as minefields. So the key positions is the blue chest in the middle. Mitrokin has chosen a red barricade right outside his deployment zone, and MD Cool Edge has chosen the blue barricade that is right outside near his deployment zone. And the minefields are all scattered around. There looks to be both players have set up theirs in pretty similar positions right outside their opposing player's deployment zone, kind of on the edges that they need to take to get into contact with that middle objective. For interesting deployment, Maul, it looks like, has divulged his 2-pip as he has infiltrated all the way back here in the back corner behind a building right near the blue key positions. And it looks like Cassian, or sorry, not Cassian. Cassian, it looks like has infiltrated. However, he did it just outside the deployment zone, while Jin infiltrated farther up, closer to the middle and blue key positions. Yeah, there's some interesting deployment here. I have to agree with Timbo in the chat. That mall deployment does look very conspicuous at best. I mean, there's an airspeeder gunning right down for him. He's decently far enough away from his army. And he's not really that close to where any of Mitrokin's units are, except for this airspeeder and Pathfinder unit. He has a way that he can get past this minefield without triggering it, but it would leave him super exposed to just all of Mitrokin's units, especially since he can shoot some of his vets at range 4 and just hope for some critical gun shots. I do not know what the bans were, Mike. Sorry about that. But yeah, not quite sure what the bans were. So Mitrokin is at 9 activations to MD Cool Edge's 11, which does make it a bit tougher for the Rebels here, being down 2 activations. It means both of the Sniper Strike teams will get to go down last, as well as Jin and Cassian will be out activated every round, so they will have to go probably before Maul if MD Coolidge keeps his orders on Maul so that he can last first with him each turn that he needs to.
All right, dude. I think I got everything set up for you.
All right, cool, cool. Looks good. Let's watch some good Legion.
Yeah, this is actually my team, which is why I was
Is he
paying attention to it.
nice? Which one is your team?
Mithrakin, the rebel team.
Mitro's on your team.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. This is an interesting matchup for him. Out activated 2 activations against a Saber user on key positions, but yeah, against an AAT as well. I think it's really going to come down to which one wins the fight, the airspeed or the AAT. Because that airspeeder can just rip through B1 bodies and get some pretty good shots on Maul.
Yeah, I mean he's positioned like he's gonna go for it. I don't know. It's pretty interesting that speeder deployment.
Yeah, like it looks like he's just ready to just run down guns blazing.
Yeah, this is interesting. Yeah, so the the droid player, McCool Edge, he had the 10-point bid. Their whole team brought force users except one of them. And I mean Maul's so good. Maul on a tank. What could go wrong?
Yeah, yeah.
This
And
is
I mean,
go ahead.
11 acts helps too. I mean, out activating by 2 is huge. Maul can like last first pretty much every turn.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and Timbo, yes, the AAT has high velocity and armor piercing shells. It's got both. So I mean, that AAT can still punch through that airspeeder's armor pretty decently. That impact 3 critical 2 that it would get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sorry, impact 4 critical 2.
Oh boy. Yeah,
Yeah.
I hate playing tanks. They're just so I play like rebels that take a lot of dodges. You and I have actually played before in a
Yep,
ladder match,
we have.
and um yeah, if I get high velocity versus like my mono dodge list, I'm super sad.
And that's what AATs are just so good at. They're just so good at ripping through all of these like meta units that love using dodges.
Mm-hmm.
Situational awareness spam rebels, situational awareness spam, dodge sharing clones, right? AATs are a great counter to all of those because they just completely negate the use of one of your list's gimmicks.
Right. And or like almost one of the like the major strategy, right? It's just like have perma
Hmm.
dodge on everything.
Yeah, exactly. And they're even really good against force users because just negating that dodge and not allowing deflect and surge to block,
Right.
it's huge,
Yeah, and the
especially
best
with the
force
ability.
users are able to take those dodges. Like when Luke can take those dodges, and even Maul can get a dodge on himself. He's just so strong.
Hmm. And I mean, if that AAT can also get up there and cover up a bunch of that center objective too, like it's got a big base, it can get there, and it's got a pretty clear line to just drive there.
I really love this map. I watched a couple. I feel like every game today has been streamed on this map. I've played on it a couple times. I think it's pretty fun.
I agree. It's a pretty good map. I do enjoy this map.
All right, looks like we're getting cards.
Yep, turn one's about to start. We're about to get some action.
Yeah.
Standing orders
Standing
versus
orders versus
orbital strike.
orbital. Okay.
That seems like a pretty obvious play by both of them. Mitrokin wants to try to delay as much as he can, and the droids just want to get that 2-pip off, get their damage through, get their range 4 to infinity shot off before it's gone. The question now is though is what is this tac droid going to be able to shoot at?
Yeah, let me give people
It looks like he could potentially move out, have shots on Cassian,
uh yep.
but there's not much
Cassian,
else there. Can't shoot K2 because he's still incognito.
right. Yeah, I mean, there's one Rebel veteran sticking out, but I don't think he can see him. And yeah, I mean, it really depends. It'll be interesting to see if he goes aggro just to try and. I mean, if he has no other shots, does he just try and pop a little into Cassian? I mean, Cassian is in the open. I can't draw range, but I don't think that tank
Well,
has to go far to
yeah,
like do the
no,
follow-up
yeah.
shot, you know?
Yeah, so to put it into perspective, this minefield token is the size of a base and it's range 1 around. So it's basically from one end to the other, it's range 2 with a base in the middle, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the tank probably won't be able to shoot Cassian this turn, but if Cassian has to move forward, or if the tank is able to move forward this turn and move next turn, it can. But that would be putting it pretty close to a lot more of Mitrokin's units than he probably feels comfortable with.
For sure. It looks like for Tim asking in the chat, there's a PK series worker droid one
Yep.
in the droid list,
Yeah, there's a single one. It's in the red B1 unit sitting in the back.
and I don't think Keegan has any. Oh no, did you just get dropped from the client?
Yeah, I did as well. I think their game was crashing.
Uh, I can't even get TTS to, huh, be on the forefront of my screen. All right, let's do it old school. Control Shift Escape. You do have to love TTS. You gotta love the Steam servers.
Yep. Yeah, you gotta love Steam servers.
Look, one thing I do love is like popping onto TTS and seeing all the people playing every night. It's like so many games going on.
Yeah, I agree. It's been good, especially recently. There's been a lot more going on. So while we load back in, have you played your team league game yet?
No, so this is what I was gonna say when we both spoke at the same time.
Yep.
This is the match to tie it up. Where my team is up 2-1, and if Droids wins
Mm.
here, we're going to the deciding match, where I will play my 13th game of Star Wars Legion for my team's hopes and dreams. I am still
Cool.
very very new to the game.
Fair enough. So what are you playing then? Are you playing Rebels?
I am playing Rebels, so we're on the Coruscant map, the vertical map, and I'm playing
Hmm.
triple Mando, double Ton, three rebel troopers, two vigilance rebel officers, and I'm also an R2, and I'm 11 activations as well versus 9, a
Nice.
Dooku B2 list, and Dooku doesn't have saber throw.
Interesting.
Yeah, so
That'll be,
like a little less scary, but like only
yeah.
slightly. And I have a much bigger bid, which helps.
Yeah. Yeah. Bidding is so huge in this game right now. Like
It's fun and interesting.
it is.
All right,
Very much
we're
is.
back. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for the match. It's pretty interesting. I mean, I definitely like having the activation um, advantage, but there are, you know, obviously a lot of factors going into every game. Looks like Keegan's just ordering the air speeders, and then like when I play against a droid player, it looks like they just order their whole army, and I just trust that they aren't screwing me over. Looks like
Yeah.
okay, he's also popping. Uh, is he popping uplinks on his
Yeah.
Pathfinders?
Looks like he's popping up links on all three units, both Rebel veterans and the Pathfinders.
Yep. Yeah, yeah,
So all
definitely the
four of his,
veterans because of the Mark IIs,
yeah,
and then yeah,
yeah,
the Pathfinders too. Look at all these
yes.
orders. I like to play the game with like one order token on the table.
Yeah. So all he's got in his bag is two operatives and a commander because he did infiltrate Cassian. That's the interesting choice when you take Jin, Cassian, K2, but you don't take a second operative. Do you prefer to have two operative tokens in the bag, or do you prefer to have two commander units or tokens in the bag? Right? Do you prefer having the ability to go with either Jin or Cassian, or either Jin and K2?
I would
Oh, sorry,
imagine I'd
not
want
Jin
to
and K2,
go.
Cassian K2.
I'd imagine with K2 because of the incognito, it just like kind of gives you that extra buffer level of safety.
Yeah, so K2 gets the extra level of safety, but then because he has that safety, do you feel it's better than to keep
Oh,
them both as a commander?
right.
Because he deployed him like millimeters outside his deployment zone. So if you keep them both as commanders, you can go with either Jin or Cassian, depending on which one's safer. Right now, if he pulls a commander, he
Yeah,
has to
he
go
has
with
to go
Jin.
Jin, right?
Yeah. It's an interesting choice when you don't have that second operative, right? Because if you have that second operative, then yeah, having three operatives in the bag is much better than two and two.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have to make the choice between two and one of the other, it's it's a really interesting decision.
Yeah, and I'm like as big a like I like Jin a lot, and I think what she brings to a list is advantageous. Like I like playing her, and but in that situation, like if I don't play Cassie in K2, but if I did, I would almost want to shade towards Lando just because of being able to just go all operatives.
Yeah. And that's fair. That's very fair.
I mean Lando's also good, but I think Jin is a little bit better defensively, which is why I like her. But it is like if you're really worried about the order token bag, then I think that's a consideration at least. I mean, Keegan really likes like just being his teammate and talking to him a lot. He really likes order tokens. Like this is what he wants. Like
Mhm.
all these order tokens on the table.
Okay, well, he clearly plays the wrong faction for that then, but alrighty.
I I
He picked like
completely agree.
he picked the worst order token faction.
I was giving him crap about this today. I told him order control is for mauling people who don't know how to play the game. I told him to
Fair
embrace
enough.
the rebel faction. Just go with it.
So
I
it
was
looks like
only
this.
half trolling. Sorry.
Yeah. So it looks like the sniper's going trying to move
Oh
out
yeah, let me be a
and
good
shoot this
streamer.
airspeeder. Yeah.
Oh shoot,
I'm not.
I didn't do the windows yet. Give me. I'll do that in a second,
Yeah.
fam.
This is tough because he's looking for crits. The airspeeder.
So 2 hits. Yeah. What do I gotta do? Go with the aim
Aims.
and just 1 hit.
Yeah.
It's spectator
Spectator underscore window
window
space
on.
on.
Right.
Yeah.
Unknown command. I spelled it wrong. That's all. I apologize to everyone who has to watch me do this. I was picking up the stream late. Looks like they did do clocks, so try and get that in. I think that looks okay. Lock it. All right, my bad, everybody. We're going on the fly here. I was in the middle of entering grades when I was called into action.
Yeah, and it looks like Keegan just took one unit of Rebel Vets, moved back, recovered his uplink. Playing it safe. No need to rush in. Key positions is a 6-turn game. You need to play for that turn 6.
Yeah, and I think that this is like sort of the kind of match where having all those uplinks and just recovering them, like even several of them, is going to be just fine. It's the really aggressive games where you really don't want to spend the actions doing it that really stresses me out.
Yep. And it looks like they had to disconnect again.
Oh. No, only you're gone.
Is it just me again?
Yeah, it's just you.
Hmm.
Ooh, shit. I think I'm going to do... Yeah, Tim, you can suggest whatever you want. I was going to put it in the bottom right, but I can put it in the top right. I think I know why you're saying to do that, because then I can hide the top of it. Okay. Yeah, I'm I'm totally up for any suggestions. I hate like jumping into something when it's already started and trying to play catch up.
Yeah, always tough, but we're all grateful that you did.
Oh, yeah, it's all good.
Tim, yeah, Tim telling me I got yeeted just like I did from your team, Tim. I mean, the last time I played Tim, he yeeted all my models off the board too, so I mean, nothing new there.
Happens to all of us.
But he actually yeeted them because it was an in-person game, so he was actually throwing my models.
He just threw him in the trash from across the room.
I
So
mean,
look.
basically, he took my triple vibro sword commando units and said, "What is this garbage?"
Oh yeah, I do wanna turn off that bar. Interface top menu. The thing is having to turn it back on is a pain in the butt. Oh wait, I could
Yeah,
have just
you just have.
I could have just F11'd it, right? Oh no, because then I lose the chat too. So yeah, it looks like that scenario that you were describing earlier is he pulled Jin early, so
Hmm.
basically just having to deal with it. I guess he knows what's in his bag and he's fine with that, but
Yeah,
he didn't get to move Cassian, who's still potentially eating the orbital bombardment or whatever it's called.
yeah, the orbital strike, and it's suppressive too, right? So like, suppressing Cassian, if he isn't able to rally one of those suppression off, can make his ability to shoot back at the tank, or ideally the tank, because he's going to want to put all of his crits he can into the tank a
Right.
lot harder. He's going to
Right.
be down in aim.
Uh-oh. That's not good. McCool Edge just went color black for a second. Hopefully he didn't see Keegan's whole hand. How do you like to play Minefield? You just like to run into him, or do you avoid him?
So it depends what I'm playing. If I'm playing droids, just take a dodge and run in, right? You'll dodge one of them, you'll lose a body. Oh no, you've lost one of how many droid units does he have? Six? Or does he's got five? So you've lost one of 30 bodies, right? You got two minefields, so you lose two. And because it's not very likely for the minefield to roll double crits.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm playing clones, just stack up as many dodges and then run into it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, Rebels are the same, just grab a dodge and run in. It hurts a bit more losing a rebel trooper, but I mean, if you have Leia or an officer, hand them a second dodge first and then run in, and hopefully you can just dodge them both.
Right, and
I
then
honestly
still
feel
keep
that
your dodge.
Minefield, yeah, I honestly feel that Minefield is the worst for Empire because they don't have the bodies that droids do to not care, or B, the dodge sharing or ability to gain a lot of dodges that rebels and clones do.
No, I think you're completely right. I I definitely am the kind of person who just runs right in.
Yeah, which it looks like Keegan's going to try to do right now with K2.
Oh yeah, Tim, good point. Just throw throw the model forward to avoid the double debt.
Yeah. Yeah, you never want to leave models in range for the second hit.
The more you
But
know.
it looks like K2 is going to get hit by that mine.
Does that blow his incognito?
I do not believe so because he hasn't attacked or been attacked or done an objective action. But
Yeah,
he will
good
spend his
point.
dodge, just take nothing because armor one. So,
Right. Yeah, Tim just mentioned in the chat just like he's really good at just like going and blowing up mines because easy
yep,
for him to get a dodge. He has the armor. He has incognito. He can just wander around blowing them up.
yep. He can calculate odds, so he's always giving himself a dodge. Like K2 is one of the best minefield units in the game.
That was his job for the Empire. Just walking through rebel minefields.
Is that where you found Cassian?
Ma- Master. Isn't an enemy attack? See, I love learning. That's why I'm a teacher, Timbo, because I love learning.
Indy Coolidge probably just going with all of his B1s just to wait, stall, see what's going on.
I mean, that's why people bring so many B1s, right? Just like
Yeah.
mass volume of dice plus
Hmm.
ultimate stall factor.
Yeah. He does have Maul along with his um probe droids and his T series in the bag. So he probably is trying to stall so he doesn't pull Maul. Because if he pulls Maul early, that's really bad.
Yeah.
He wants to wait for Maul to go last.
So his bag is just three things.
Yep.
Yep. So we'll have some time, and he'll just have to not um, get unlucky with that one pull.
Yeah. It looks like Cassian is shooting the tank now. Took an aim shot the tank. He had one from K2 before.
Yeah, from the calculate odds. So
Yeah.
I'm guessing he turned it into a crit
Yeah.
with marksman, and
So
I'm guessing he has Pierce. So that just goes through.
yeah. So it's just going to be a wound on the tank.
Yeah, I didn't see him put it down, but I'm sure it's somewhere. I mean, come on in, Tim. I don't care. It doesn't bother me at all. I don't think Jace minds. Do you mind?
No, I don't mind at all.
All right.
Then I actually have someone to beak because I can just beak Tim.
And then you'll have two people who actually know what all the cards do. And I can go drink more and not feel bad about uh, putting on airs.
Yeah, and the worker droid unit's already gone this turn. Or was that the one that just... No, it's already gone this turn, so it cannot take the wound off yet. It'll have to wait till next turn to heal the AAT. But
Yeah, I
I'm
don't think
assuming by then
AAT's in any danger.
yeah, well,
I mean,
potentially. I'm assuming by next turn the airspeeder is probably going to try to take a shot at it.
yeah, I just don't know how. I mean, I can never kill a tank, so I just don't know how quickly he can do 9. Um,
Yeah, the airspeeder is really good though. Impact 3 surge to crit. You can throw out a lot of crits with one airspeeder attack.
yeah, I mean that's true. It's 6 dice. It's
Yeah, and that compulsory lets you get there quick. So if like you can compulsory aim shoot too, right? There's a large crit potential. That's why a lot of people have been using air speeders now to beat the armor skews. Just because they're really good armor killers. They get killed by anything that's dedicated anti-armor, but they're also themselves very good at killing armor.
I wonder why he did go with that repair unit then. Because I
Yeah,
mean, he has yellow here. He had green.
yeah. I'm not sure why he went with it so early.
I mean, maybe
Maybe
he was just thinking he was safe.
that's very possible.
But like, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's hard sometimes to see that things are going to matter that early. It's like an oh crap moment.
Yeah.
Because there's
Now,
just
no
like when you
matter,
have that many, there's just no reason you should ever do it as long as it's alive.
yeah, definitely. Now, no matter how much the airspeeder does, like the tank will still be, it might gain another like 1 to 3 wounds depending on how well the airspeeder rolls if it attacks it. So he'll still be able to get a repair off and it will still be useful,
Right? It'll
but it
just be
won't really do.
one whole turn behind. Like he can't do 2 heals. You know, he might never get that second heal. Can you I'm not like have any
Yeah,
messages with
I
Timbo. He was looking for
yeah,
the info.
I got it. I got it. All right. Timbo's got the info.
Yeah, looks like Keegan's just camping with these rebel vets. And
Which is what he needs to
Marquise.
do, honestly.
Yeah.
The one thing about this map is the center is very open. So as soon as you commit into the center, you have to fully commit into the center. And on key positions, you don't want to do that too early, or else you're just going to get all your units shot out from underneath you.
Mm-hmm. And he loves these like 180 point rebel vet units. Look at this. Comtech, Recon Intel, O push, O93, HQ uplink.
Yeah, there's some expensive vet units.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much more you can fit on here, but that's a lot. We'll find out if they're worth their weight. I'm sure those B1s don't want to get mulched by them.
That is true. They could easily eat a B1 unit.
K2 seems like he'd be really good for the fire support too, because he can get up close and surge to crit.
Yeah, yeah. K2 is a really good fire support platform. Combining his 5 white with 4 black. The critical 2 on the Mark IIs becomes kind of useless when fire supporting him. But I mean, you basically just upgrade it to full surge to crit.
Right.
And you just make K2's shots way more reliable.
Yeah, and I mean that's just kind of like many rebel units have surge to hit or surge to crit, so it's not necessarily. Well, I guess like surge to crit is still where you want to be.
Yeah.
Critical too. Yeah, I don't know. Fire support seems cool.
Well, hello, hello, hello.
Hey, you made it.
There he is.
Yeah, this is gonna be an interesting one.
Yeah, that's why I had originally tried to pick it up because I looked at the 2 lists and I was like, "Oh, that's gonna be weird."
Time to get weird.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and with like Mitrakin is known and is good at playing his rebel, the veterans of Scarif. So if there was any person who could bring this rebel army to victory against AAT Maul, it would be Mitrakin.
Especially with a mall deployment out there like that.
Hmm.
Like I'm really not sure what he's doing out over here.
Well, the only question I had was, did you see if Jin went down first or Maul?
I didn't. I mean, I was busy trying to fix a bunch of
Yeah.
things that I eventually just gave up on and decided I will fix later.
'Cause they looked to start basically at range 3 of each other.
Hmm.
So one of them was zoning the other one out, and I don't know which one it was.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm not sure which one went down first.
Yeah, I definitely didn't catch it.
Yeah.
I wasn't in the game yet. I don't know. Like, Maul really could have gone anywhere. I mean, this side is so precarious. The top side.
Yeah. Um, I'm gonna actually, Bob, is that your name actually Bobby? Is that actually your name?
It's Mike, but I go by Bobby.
Okay.
But Mike or Bobby is fine. It doesn't really matter.
Cool. I just good to meet you, but I actually need to watch all the videos on your channel now and see what you're getting up to over here. That are
Oh yeah,
on my
I kind of just did those for me, but it started. I was having a conversation in, I think it was just the Legion Discord general chat maybe, or like competitive talk. Just all the conversation seemed to be about like what should be buffed and what should be nerfed, and I was like, this is the kind of content I think people should make. And people were like, well, why don't you just do it? And I was like, fine. And then, but then like other people have started to do it. So now I don't have to do it as much anymore because then I can just watch real players' content because no one wants to watch what I do. I'm trying to learn. But that was part of it for me is like I don't know how to play and I need to learn how to play. So like watching all my mistakes and processing that verbally with an audience, which is like how I got better at Star Wars Destiny. Like I think which has been really helpful because I have played less than 20 games of Legion. I'm still like trying to get good. I'm still trying to like literally learn how to play.
Yeah, 100%. Like I've now watched like every game of mine that's ever been streamed, we watch it back usually that night, and that's been a real help for improving my play.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
agree.
awesome.
I've done the same thing too. Every time I've had a game streamed, I always just go back and rewatch it. I'll usually just go back the next day, so I've slept on it. It's not fresh in my mind, and then I can see their viewpoints.
Looks like the Pathfinders just got sniped. Did they?
They saved out,
Oh,
so
they
they're
They
all
saved
good.
say,
out. Okay.
yeah, they saved though,
Oh, because the
which is
airspeeder heavy cover.
They're getting heavy cover from the wall. There's like that wall where that mine token is. That was giving them heavy cover.
Oh, I see
yeah,
now.
Yeah,
yeah,
Good call.
heavy to
yeah.
light with sharpshooter.
hmm
But yeah, watching your stuff, especially when it's streamed and you have other intelligent people talking about it, and you just learn so much.
Yeah, 100%.
Most of my Legion games are like against Ed, and we play like 3 activations, and then he disappears and quits. So then I'm just like, oh, okay, I didn't get much out of that, Ed. Thanks.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
played Ed once. The very first LVO, so like 2018, he was my third round opponent. So it was a fun game. I mean, he was playing Vader, so of course I forced Long March with my
Oh,
Veer's gun line.
brutal. That is the longest march.
Yeah. And I think he was also Vaps, and I was blue.
Boy.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's frustrating for him, I'm sure. Yeah, Ed's the
Yeah,
best. He's just like the nicest guy. He's a super good friend. He's the person that got me into this. He like sent me a bunch of rebels and was like, "Here you are. You're a rebel player."
yeah, he's a pretty chill dude. He's pretty fun to play against.
So, some interesting maneuvering up with the Mark II, just like humping K2.
yeah, it's a little bit in a dangerous spot right now because I think that tank has a move shoot on it and could possibly get it in the open.
Yeah, I mean,
I think
it's right
I,
there.
I think if the
Oh, it
tank all
100% has.
and it's also good because if the tank moves, I think the T series can also move and get its bombardment shot into it as well.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
Through
what
that,
this
it can just move into that archway.
I don't know what this move is unless it's like a huge bait.
Well, I have a feeling that he's trying to get the tank to move forward so he can run the air speeder around the building where the mine is, so that that tank doesn't have AP shells easily into the air speeder. Um, which is like a gamble, and it might work. Um, and he also, if he surges toward that tank, like Biston has probably a move shoot, maybe an aim shoot, depending where it is, and like ion tokens on AATs are really good. And any damage is really good as well, of course.
Oh, you know what would be cool to learn? What do ion tokens do?
So
So
ion tokens are a fun thing where if you hit a unit, or if you hit a unit and you have ion and you cause a wound, they get an ion token, and it basically means they lose an action per ion token they have.
And how long does that last? Just like the one turn?
Yeah, end of activation. So, like, if the tank goes this turn, and then Bistan puts an ion wound onto it after it goes, that ion token still stays because it's not a green token, and it will go away at the end of the tank's next activation. So next turn, the tank would still only get one action.
Cool. So it's yes, like sort of like a robot
Basically.
immobilized kind of situation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Slightly different.
exactly.
The other thing with
Uh,
Ion too, though, is that PK droid can repair the Ion instead of repairing a wound.
Oh, okay, cool.
Although I think that would also be a win for Mitrakin, because like
100%
with
agree.
with Cass and the Airspeeder and Biston, like there's definitely enough like ways to deal with armor that he can kill the lone AAT. So any repairs that are used on ion tokens and not repair, that's just gravy.
Yeah, so it looks like Cool Edge did not lose the lottery of is he gonna pull Maul first, so he should be able to. Oh, wait, did he go with this kind of early? No, T Series tank Maul. Okay. Versus Speeder and Pathfinders for activations left.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that is what it looks like.
I didn't see what did Cassian do this turn?
Cassian aim shot the AAT. So he had an aim from calculate odds. He took a second aim himself, and then he shot the tank, but he rolled a hit and a blank, so he only just pierced through
Okay.
one crit. So if you look on
And
the
then
tank's card, it's got a wound.
Oh no, okay, so it hasn't been repaired yet. Okay, cool.
No, for some reason, we're not sure why, but Cool Edge went with like the red repair unit like first out of all his B1s.
Yeah, or early. He had ones to spare, but he did not activate them. It may
Yeah,
have been like
he had like
just a memory slip
he,
or bad habit.
yeah. Yeah, he had two B1 units that he could have gone with instead of it, and then he would have been able to repair it this turn. But
This is dangerous moving these
the Dark
probe
Droids,
into the mine because the mine could easily kill them.
yeah, a double detonate on them, and they're done.
Especially leaving like if he leaves them all inside of the mine. That's
Yeah.
another thing you can do, Mike, is if you like put some models out of line of sight of the mine, then they can't be killed by the mine.
Oh yeah, so he could just like put it right on the other side of this building.
If he put like two models against the building, they would be pretty close to the enemy, but then like if he blows the mine up, then only the leader would die, and that's not the worst thing in the world.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
And it would,
Having two's
it would
fine.
actually let him move forward a bit more for some observation.
All right, looks like we're gonna get our second mine detonation.
Possibly. Also, the thing with minefield is they never go off when you want them to.
Yeah, the Dark Droids can't blow a minefield though, because they're
Oh.
hover air.
Oh,
Right.
Look at the ridges on you. You're so smart.
It's got to be a ground unit to actually blow a minefield. They can get hit by it if something else blows it, but they can't actually blow the minefield themselves.
That's honestly an interaction I've never
Have
played
you
with
not
before.
have you not had to play minefield with your saber tank?
Never play minefield.
Never. Yeah, the same as your saber
Like
tank and
occasionally.
the yeah, same as your saber
Yeah,
tank
yeah.
and the AT, right? It's the same keyword, so they won't blow the
Well,
mine.
saber tanks are
Or
because they're a repulsor
right,
vehicle.
yes, which have hover ground, and these are troopers, but they have hover air.
I believe you. I'm now just gonna pull up my IRG to actually know this because I'm actually supposed to be a judge, so I should
Yeah,
know this
go
kind
for
of.
it. I am like 99% certain that's why they did not roll for that minefield.
All right, looks like Keegan's moving up this Pathfinder unit with the long range config, tapping his O push. He's gonna try and pop something. He couldn't get in range of the tank. So snipers.
Yeah, you want to try to kill a sniper model?
Yep. Yeah. Other one, 2 hidden.
So he's gonna
I mean-
tap Piston here.
Yeah, he tapped Bistan. He tapped his push, I think.
Yeah. Ooh,
That's not a great roll.
that's not what you want to see.
Good conversion
That's a
though.
little better. Yeah, 2 crits. Best thing too is if he kills this dude, he gives the other one an ion.
Yep. There is a surge token there, so
There is.
some decent save percentages here.
It's true. And there it is.
Oh.
Send the surge. Yep, no ion. And it looks like those Pathfinders are ready for a full recover. Get 3 of their 4 tappable upgrades back.
Yeah. This is a recover list.
Yep.
Let's see how they look from the T series droid's point of view. Yeah, I mean he can see him.
The card attack is also at the end of the turn, so if he needed to, he could double move attack, but move, aim, move. The best is actually if you can set it up so that you can aim and then bolster yourself, so then you give yourself essentially pseudo hit surge to hit.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough what you shoot now with that attack though, because Cassian's got a dodge. Pathfinders have danger sense enabled. Like it honestly might even be best just to shoot a Mark II just to put wounds to it, potentially kill it.
I think I think at this point you either try and get the Pathfinders because doing a couple of wounds there would take some damage out, or you go for a Mark II. That's pretty much all you can see anyways, so.
Yeah, he's really only got like those 3 units to choose between.
Yeah, he has to decide now between pulling out the tack series, pulling out the tank, or pulling out Maul before the speeder goes. So looks like he's going with the tank.
Which is the smart move. You don't want Maul to go yet. Metro's only got the airspeeder left, so once that happens, you're fine with the T series or Maul, but you need Maul to go last. And after all of Metro's stuff.
Tank has some decent shooting here. So it's gonna get that Mark II in the open, assuming that's what it shoots.
Yep. Other interesting option would be Cassian, but he's pulling back, so guessing that's not his target.
Yeah, a shot against Cassian wouldn't be super great. Like he's gonna have cover and he has dodge. Might do 1 wound.
Well, you can shoot your high velocity shells, so you wouldn't care about the dodge.
Right.
Oh, that's
But
right.
heavy cover would still be tough. Although, does Cassian have low profile? He doesn't.
No.
Right. It might only be light cover if he can move up far enough, because you can see him over the center key positions, and he's just in there. But I mean, I also don't think he can even get range 4 on Cassian. Is the bigger problem.
I think he probably could have.
Yeah, and he can see. Yeah, he can see everything.
Like from here with a single move, I don't think he can hit range 4. Like
That's not too much bigger than range 1, and like AATs move what?
Well,
9 inches, just under 9 inches.
Are you looking at the range 5 band? Because it's
I'm looking at the range 5 band. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was
Whoops.
he's like over 2 range bands away. Like his base is one of those, but then his movement tool isn't the other. So
Yeah, no, yeah. I was looking at the wrong range band rules.
Yeah. If he could hit Cassian, I would totally go for it because it's like, I mean, 6 red and a white with his aim. Like, I'd be pretty happy if that was me, right? Like into just light cover.
Is he going after Jin
Yeah.
here? As someone who has had his Jin
That's
melted by a tank, I don't like it.
Well, it's Jin is a piece that like can always be a real nuisance.
Oh, sorry. This is me rooting
Um,
for Keegan because he's my teammate for YBTL. I'm saying I don't want this Jin to die.
I played Keegan in last YBTL, and I felt bad for him because he put his Jin in a place where I was playing my tank list when it had Rex in it, and was I playing my tank list? I don't know, but basically he put Jin into place, and then I scouting party 2 units up, and then fire supported uh, a full clone shot into it and melted Jin first activation of the game. And Keegan was a real gentleman about it, but it was like, yeah, sorry about this.
Feels bad.
Yeah, if you haven't played against a fire support scouting party play like that, you learn after the first time what can be done
Yeah.
I feel like
and how
there's
to avoid it.
a lot of moves in Legion where I'm like, not gonna forget that.
Yeah, I don't think he's um forgotten about it since.
No, you've probably made him a very cautious infiltrator.
Which is how you kind of need to be with infiltrate. Like I've tried it before. Like you can't be super aggressive with infiltrate because more times than not, it'll cost you really big.
Yeah, I think of myself as pretty cautious with it because I mean I play it a lot and yeah, I try and think of interesting places that are advantageous but not necessarily like I'm trying to win the game with my flanker here.
Hmm.
Well, and like infiltrate often is probably best used as essentially like a big scout move.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, instead of like, oh, I'm gonna jump in behind you. Funnily enough, I think the best unit for like infiltrating like massively is actually Maul. Um, he brings a second unit with him, and he also like is because of the order control of the CIS is pretty much independent anyway.
Yeah, and he's insane. If anyone like goes after him, he gets 3 actions. He's got force push. There's just so many amazing things about him.
Yeah, Maul's
Yeah.
definitely the best infiltrator. I think Vader's definitely in the top 3. Like infiltrating on Vader can be really good.
The only problem with Vader is he has to go last, so
Yes,
he's limited.
yeah, that is
Yeah,
a
and
problem.
Empire
However,
doesn't
it can,
doesn't get those activations up as easily as droids.
yeah. However, unless you come across a list like this with recon intel on everything, usually they're confined to their deployment zone, and then you can play
Yeah.
around with that a little bit. But if they bring any scouting, it severely limits him.
All
Yeah.
right, here's the big 8 dice shot on or seven red,
Yeah.
6 red and a
7.
white, 7 total.
Yeah.
Dodge is not useful anymore.
Yep.
High velocity shells have been tapped.
And she doesn't have any suppression or anything, so she's just
Yeah,
gonna be
it's
rolling.
it's going to be all these red with an aim against Jin straight dice. Good so far. Good so far.
You get an aim from.
Link targeting array.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so
course.
we can't have a complete blank out.
Well, it's average.
Woo, 2/3 of her health is gone.
Uh, that's the problem with danger sense units is like you really need that danger sense active for that very first shot, and it's not.
Well, I mean, when you're taking 6 red
Mhm.
dice, yes, you do. I think if like you can draw something
Yeah.
else out, it's not as important. But Yeah, if you're
Danger
going up
sense
against a
units,
tank, you definitely want to have taken some suppression.
yeah, danger sense units are great against things that just do plink damage, right? Like DLTs and snipers, right? Because you take like one wound or you roll a lucky block and you've got a bunch of suppression, roll a bunch of extra dice. But anything that can hit you with a hard alpha strike, like a tank or a fire supported clone shot, right? Or attack strike ISF, right? Like
Hmm.
anything
Yeah.
against that, just danger sense units don't do very well because this happens. You
Well, and
just put
they
down a huge
also
amount of wounds.
they also really need heavy cover because like if
Yes.
Jin has like a suppression or two, and then that same dice pool's rolled, that's four rolling against like five or six white. Like suddenly that feels okay.
Yeah. 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 Like if she only had to roll four of those dice, that would feel a lot better.
Well, yeah, like if basically if she rolled that exact same pool against four hits instead of six, like if she had two suppression, then suddenly
Mhm.
she only takes two wounds and you feel okay about that.
Yeah.
That tank movement was also good because it puts the tank in a defensive position against the air speeder.
Yeah, I think
Yeah. I
once
don't
he
think.
saw it, I think it was really smart.
I also think
Yeah.
that tank is actually out of line of sight of Cassian now, which is important.
Yeah. I'd agree with you on that. Cassian can do that. I mean, he'll have to move so he can sidestep and see it, but he won't be able to use the sniper then.
Yeah. And that consistent damage of Cassian is super important when if Magican wants to take down this tank. Um,
Looks like instead he's just going to try to take out this same sniper mini.
yeah,
I mean, he
he's
doesn't
just
have a
trying
lot of good
to
options,
hide.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you don't want to commit too early with air speeders, so it makes sense.
Well, I get
Everything
six
went
anyway.
everything went flying, but it's all hits now.
Yeah. Should be able to take that sniper out.
Nope.
No, wow.
Oh, well.
All right
That's a
then.
lot of blocks.
I'm Mitchell right now. I'm feeling pretty upset about how those two shots into that single mini have gone.
Yeah, especially
Well,
when like
although if
it's. Oh, go ahead.
if Maul now rolls four blank, then that'll be okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I just can't imagine that that was like the shots that he pictured taking in the first round. Like just to kill one sniper model and didn't get there. Feels bad, man.
Chicken is kind of owning the center of the board right now. It's a long game yet to be played, but that is kind of important.
hmm The problem is just if he runs out of bodies by
Yeah.
turns 5 and 6, doesn't
Well,
matter how much.
yeah, especially with Jin close to death and Maul staring right at her, basically.
hmm
Yeah, because Maul has saber throw, so he could easily line up for a turn, like to do a saber throw.
Yeah.
Yeah, have to be
Just
careful about his positioning, but
based on Maul's positioning, since he's not up against the building, I have a feeling that Jin was the one deployed first.
yeah, I would agree with that. Um,
Because it looks really awkward for Maul to try to jump over this building. He kind of has to come right up to the edge of the board to make it over.
yeah. Well, honestly, both of their positionings look really weird because like Jin is kind of out in the middle of nowhere, and then Maul's
Yeah,
also like he's not touching the building as well. Um, The only thing I can think is possibly Maul actually went first, and like moving back or like positioning back from the building like this is important if you don't want to use the jump for the first move. You can angle that movement tool more forward instead of just sideways.
Mm-hmm.
They're coming up on an hour for round 1. I wonder if they pause the timer during those disconnects.
I don't know. They haven't been super quick with their activations, so I'm not surprised that we're nearing an hour.
Yeah.
Um,
I feel like first round always takes the longest.
yeah, like I find like if you're done your first round in under an hour, like that's under like an hour is like slow, but like if you're done your first round in under an hour, you're probably fine for the game. It's when that first round is reaching an hour or over that it's too slow. I also just love chess clocks at this point.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah, I love the idea of them. I'm just too new
I like
to
I like the
start
idea.
messing with them.
I still find them insanely annoying to use, but I do like the idea of it.
Yeah, I think like they're a thing that you get used to. I also think they're a thing like I haven't had a chance to use chess clocks in real life, but I think I'd actually prefer them in real life because I don't mind physical chess clocks as much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find it annoying in TTS when you want to play a higher activation list, just because TTS requires so much more finagling to get things like to be exact, right? Whereas in real life, right, like you have two hands in real life to move a mini versus one mouse in TTS, right? You can probably move a unit in about incoherent in about half the time,
Yeah, yeah, especially B1s, because like
right?
B1s in real life, you can basically just pick up them up in like both your hands, like move the
Hmm.
unit leader, pick up them up in both hands, and just sort of drop them,
Dump them
and
anyway.
until you like the armies start engaging, it doesn't really matter.
So it's got to be saber
Yeah,
throw on the tank. Saber
yeah.
throw.
Saber
Yeah,
throw in the airspeeder.
Yeah,
yeah,
sorry,
that should be
airspeeder.
2 wounds.
So should be 2 crits, pierce 2 for 2 wounds.
Yeah,
But yeah, like chess clocks and TTS penalize like 13-act droid lists, where I think in real life, 13-act droid lists actually do pretty good with chess clocks because most of their game is spent hiding.
yeah.
So they move a lot quicker.
I like. I'm fascinated to see like the next. I'm sure like the next big tournament will have chess clocks at least for like the top cut and stuff, and I'm really want to see like data on that in real life from competitive games because like for like Invader League stuff, like chess clocks were really successful and people for the most part enjoyed them and they didn't affect too many games. And I hope and think that'll carry over to real life, but I want to actually see that come true before I fully make up my mind, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm not sure how this guy got up on those steps.
It was just because he got grabbed. He was underneath the stairs and he got grabbed, and the mouse was on top of the stairs, so
Okay.
we just sort of phased through it. Yeah.
Yeah.
TTS.
Yep.
Versus in real life where you try to grab that dude and you knock over the other 8 minis surrounding him.
Yeah,
In the
like
building.
having 2 units like that under an archway in real life is such a pain.
And then if you're me, you've got all these trees from the rest of the map stuck to your shirt.
And you've already knocked the building over 3 times.
Yep. Hey, at least I didn't drop it onto your models when you came and played.
barely use my own models. I just use Sean's because they were all painted, and I'm too lazy
Yeah,
to paint
right.
mine.
Right. We all use Sean's. I forgot about that.
I have some.
Everyone.
I have like uh, the sad thing about like because I got to Sean's, I brought my clones and my rebels, and I had like I knew I wasn't gonna get my clones done before I went there, so I like speed painted my rebels that week, and then I didn't even take them out because we didn't get the second game in. And I was like, well, that sucks. Like it was fine, but like so now I have a fully painted rebel army just because I speed painted it in a week.
Yeah. I was like, Sean, are we letting him pick which list he plays? He's like, well, I was thinking you could play against the clone one and I'll play against the rebel one. And I'm like, bro, okay.
And then
He just picks that I'm going to play against the clone one. And I'm like, really? All right.
Saber go Burr.
I was like, I've seen this Saber full arc Padme when standby sharing was still a thing shenanigans.
Yeah. And I wasn't even leaning into standbys, but it was
Hmm.
like it's funny because like current version of that list I don't think is objectively worse. Like my list has sort of been a lateral, like as the clones have gone through their points adjustments and nerfs and stuff. I haven't gotten worse or better. I've just sort of been laterally adjusting around.
Hmm.
Like basically like the power level of my list has remained fairly consistent, even as the clone faction has like done these weird shifts.
All right, looks like the T series is trying to like move back and see something through the archway.
He's just trying to see the tip of the airspeeder, I think.
Uh,
Not the best
Yeah,
shot to take, but I guess he's just determined that no other shot is worth it, so he might as well just use it to roll against the tank.
that's fair. I
Or
probably would have preferred to shoot a Mark II or Cassian, but
yeah,
I would have
he could
shot
have
that
done it.
Mark II. Like,
He could have
deal
done it
some.
super safely, and then do a couple wounds, do a couple suppression, possibly.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, you have no crit ability on this attack, and it's
Yeah,
suppressive, so you're wasting suppressive on it, and you're
mhm.
likely not very likely to get that many crits.
and like if had he rolled that into the Mark II, he'd be forcing 3 saves right now because he rerolls the red and gets another hit.
Right.
Yep. Instead, the
Maybe not.
airspeeder will just live through on nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Keegan's got to be happy about that.
Yeah, I'm sure he's happy about that, but I'm sure he's not too happy about this overall first turn.
We're taking our victories where we can, Tim. It's the little things.
I'm totally uh unbiased in this match. I'm
All right. Well, I am decidedly not. So you can. That's all you.
I'm completely unbiased. I'm not in your guys' group. I'm not on any of the teams playing this game. I have no skin in this one.
uh,
I did not bring enough alcohol up into my office to last me past 11 o'clock. So after these cards, I'm gonna go refill everything. I was like, oh, honey, I'm just gonna do an hour of grading and then go to bed. Nope.
what do you teach?
High school English.
So much fun.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. It's I teach at a vocational school in Massachusetts, so
Cool.
academics isn't the top priority for them. So it's sort of just like showing them how like great reading is, trying to make people readers.
Yeah, yeah.
I loved reading.
I'm a
I hated English class.
I'm a I'm an engineering student, so I naturally have to hate English class.
I understand. Ooh, all right. So we're getting complete the mission. Try and keep Jin alive on that suppression against at last. So Jin gets low profile, so she'll actually be in heavy cover now, just standing out in the middle. I like this play, especially like you need to keep Jin alive, so it's probably the only thing you could do.
Hmm.
And then at last versus a non-Jedi list, you're just you're taking that aim and you're setting up your triple action for the rest of the game. So makes sense.
Pretty much.
And then I assume everything on the Sith side will be ordered. I'm guessing the tank will be somehow. I'm sure you guys can tell.
It'll
No, the tank will
is there comms relay anywhere?
on the dark droids, but I don't know if they're in range 2 of that tank.
No. So
Probably
it'll be
tight.
it actually the bag will be
Actually, they might be, but I don't think nothing's in range of them to give them an order.
Well, he has an order on it, so it must be something.
there's comms relay in the T series.
On the T series, yep, T series has also got a comms relay.
I like that.
There we go.
At this point, I actually really wouldn't hate like Maul. He has an aim, take a second aim, duck behind, like saber throw the airspeed and duck back behind the building. Because
I
if you
would
can
not.
somehow, if you can get a natty crit and then get all the dice to turn up hits, then you could do 3 wounds to the airspeeder and put that resilience value check into place.
Yeah, that would be huge doing that right before it gets to go.
Especially like Maul's pretty vulnerable right here. Like I would without dodge, I would go with him, get him out of harm's way, and then do the rest
Yeah,
of your turn.
you definitely need to go with Maul first, right? And I definitely think aim, saber throw, and then hide is the best thing you can do. Because you do not want to stay standing in front of that airspeeder and pathfinders and Jin over there.
Can it even hide from the airspeeder if he wants? Like the airspeeder's just gonna be able to get him no matter what, right?
Potentially, but if it does, it's sitting in front of the rest of his army.
Yeah.
And if he tucks
Actually,
really
yeah.
tight into that building, he might not be able to see him.
You could also if you want to be a little more defensive with Maul, you just take instead of a second aim, you just take a dodge and be
Mhm.
basically fully safe. Because then speeder shoots you probably has heavy cover, and then a dodge, and then you get surged.
And then you
block.
deflect. And then you deflect. Yeah.
Good old deflect. I had a game against JJ and Ladder the other day where Grievous rolled into Palpatine, rolled 8 against Palpatine. I was like, oh crap. It was like the now you'll die turn. Actually, I moved into Grievous. He had a standby. That's what happened.
Yeah.
He rolls 8, and I'm like, oh, I'll probably take 2 wounds here. Might not be able to kill Grievous after all. Roll the dice. Comes up 2 blocks, and then 6 searches. Now, there's no deflect on that, but it was like, well, that was the thing that happened.
This was melee though, right?
Yeah, it was melee, so no deflect.
Yeah, that sucks. You still at least you didn't take any wounds, but I mean like that would have been great if that was a ranged attack.
Well, if that would have been if that would have been Obi-Wan with a dodge, like Grievous would have been, I think he had 2 wounds at that point, he would have just been dead.
Yeah, like that's crazy.
Alright, looks like he's gonna try and finish off Jin.
So heavy cover, 2 suppression here, so we'll have 1 aim. Is he gonna... Oh, is he... This was a mistake
Ooh.
to... I think he's barraging. This was a mistake because of that danger sense. You want to put it all into one boat. Should have recovered shot, I think.
Yeah, I agree. You definitely should have recovered shot. Looks like he's going to spend the aim.
So that'll be 2 through cover. He'll be
Yeah.
rolling 4 against it.
He still needs 2.
Yeah, he needs 2 blocks to take none.
There
There it is. Takes none. And now he's going to get to roll an extra 3 dice. So he'll probably roll 5 against another 2. Yeah, you definitely should have recovered shot the high energy shells here.
Yeah.
The classic, how does danger sense work?
Yeah, it's a little bit. It's almost easier in real life to explain because you can just line up the hits against each other and just show it visually.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so still
And
need
here's 5 against the next 2. No, is that a dead Jin?
Yeah, that's a complete blank out.
That's a dead.
Oof.
I feel like MD Cool Edge got very lucky there with that, because I feel like Jin should have taken maybe 1, but probably 0 still on that second shot.
Like I think like he should have put that all in one boat and killed Jin anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Like the result ends up being the same, but just with a little bit of luck. Because if you would
Yeah,
have put that into one pool, like recover shoot with an aim, he's probably getting 6, forcing 4 through cover, rolling 6 against it. Average roll 2 saves and then take 2 wounds anyway. So
yeah,
but now Pass will get a big shot into Maul here.
yeah. That's gonna hurt. Recover shoot.
Yeah,
Pretty
that's
decent result
good,
there.
that's not
good
bad
roll.
for
So
all those whites. Yeah.
3, yeah, 3 after cover. Ooh,
So, I was about to say I wanted to see the dice first, but like if you only taken 1 wound there, it would have been totally fine because he was going to take 1 anyway. But taking a second
Mhm.
wound does a little bit of damage to him.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I agree. Like if you take 1, it's fine because you're probably going to take that wound anyway, as you said. But
Yeah, like that's like especially like Maul in the early turns kind of has like a free wound to play with until you play your at last card. Because if you take a wound, well, you're going to do it to yourself anyway at some point.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I feel like you have to go with Maul now. Like you cannot let an airspeeder shoot into him now.
No. Yeah. Here you go.
Yeah, there we go. Play it smart. Go with Maul. Keep him safe.
Yep. So after failing the rally, it looks like he's just gonna do the saber throw play.
Yeah, so he'll probably take a dodge afterwards, I'm assuming then, since it doesn't look like he's taking a second aim.
Gets the crit.
And that aim on that red, if he can get a hit, then he should have 3.
Yeah, I just putting in chat there.
Yeah, the aim's
Judging
automatic.
duty.
You can't not have it.
Yeah,
Just check for like in this case, like you had the card said May, then it's like up to the player, but because it's just gets it, then you just automatically get it. So
yeah, it's compulsory. They have to put it out there.
like I said at the beginning of the turns, that's like the ideal result there.
Yeah,
Because now 1 goes away to cover, and then you get 3 with Pierce 2, so you're likely doing 3 wounds to the airspeeder here.
yeah.
Yep.
There it is.
Breaks the airspeeder. This is not looking good for Mitro.
Well, especially like that airspeeder is going to end up somewhere this turn in range of some B1s to shoot, and a B1 horde can easily put 2 crits through on an airspeeder.
Yeah. That airspeeder is only going to get to do its compulsory moves now, too. Unless it wants to use all its actions just double moving.
Which is generally the best one for speeders,
Mm-hmm.
because you still get your compulsory at least, but in a little bit of a weird position, he might have wanted to double move this turn, so
Yeah, or even triple move, right? To try to just like
Yeah.
swing back around. right?
Yep.
Because he can still compulsory and do one move, but I don't feel like you want to use up both actions to do that. The real question now is where's Maul going?
Well, Maul's gonna try and hide behind that building, but I think he's gonna spring that mine unless he runs in a really weird, like a really roundabout route,
Yeah.
which I think is a mistake.
Yeah, like I think he should have just gone back and hid.
Yeah,
Gone back and
I
then if he need to
yeah.
later he can jump over the building and keep going this way.
I do like the instinct to try and center him on the battlefield, but from where he is, was a little bit trapped back there anyway. It looks like he may have thought that the bomb activated only at the end of the activation, possibly, and just Mitro just pointing out that it's after every move.
Yeah.
So he's going to readjust. Still think he's going to get pretty safe. Yeah. And he'll be out of
Yeah.
line of sight with bombs, so.
Sure. That airspeeder I will be able to come around and probably see him though.
Ooh, actually,
he can be seen by that.
well, I was just gonna say, I think Maul could actually see that bomb through that tree, but I'll just let the players determine this one because
Oh, the tree.
Tree
Yeah,
doesn't
because the
block
trees
line of
don't.
sight.
Yeah, they don't block line of sight. So.
it's a little bit hard to tell
I mean, isn't
because, like,
that
I don't think
as
Maul's
compulsory as the aim from At Last?
well. Line of sight questions are a little bit more up to both players. Like, yeah, like
Yeah. You can only help those ones really when they ask for a judge, right?
yeah, pretty
Like
much. Or
if it.
if you see something completely egregious.
Yeah.
Like as a judge, you try to let the players do what the players will do, and like it's a little bit easier in real life because you can hear them talking like this. They could be talking about it and being like, "I don't think he can see. I think he can see." Right. So
Bomb
looks
goes
like
off.
though, yeah, bomb was off. So they correctly interpreted the line of sight. So could do some
Oh,
damage because he's got those probe droids as well.
yeah, it's going on to the probe droids first for one crit.
Is when it rolls the block, is that the double detonate or Surge is double detonate?
Surge is double detonate.
Surge.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So there's a 3 out of 6 chance for a single, a 1 out of 6 for a double, and a 2 out of 6 that it does nothing.
Right.
So one probe droid is down.
Pretty inconsequential.
Yeah, not the worst. I mean, you're fine with losing a probe droid. And just one into Maul.
I think that the dice rollers are broken this game. That's why they're gonna
Yeah,
block. So
that is good. If Maul had taken a third wound, that would have been real bad for him.
yeah, because I think this airspeeder should act like so. Now the question is, do you hold the airspeeder so you might survive the turn, or do you go with it now to deal with Maul?
The airspeeder doesn't have an order though, right? So he has to pull it.
That's true. Yeah, very true.
Along with
So,
he's got one operative in the bag. Yeah. It's a 50-50 to pull, but
I think you go to stack because you want K2 before casting anyway. So
yeah.
yeah,
And if you get it, like you move, you aim, and then you shoot into Maul, right? And
yeah.
hopefully get him. If you can get him to like 4 or 5 wounds, that's you have a
Well,
good chance of killing him off.
there's a decent chance the airspeeder kills him because it moves and
Mm-hmm.
shoots. You're doing like 5-ish. Depends on the cover situation. Likely it's gonna have heavy cover.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking is probably be another 2 to 3 wounds that'll get through. Max.
3 wounds would kill him. But
No, he's only at 2.
yes.
He needs another 4 to kill him.
Yeah. Maul, I
Yeah.
always screw up Maul's wounds because like I think of him as
Because of the
having
free one.
5 health. Yeah, I always think of him as having 5 health, but he actually has 6 and I just count down from 5. Yeah, it's
Yeah, it's all these weird little things like that in Danger Sense that just mess with your head.
yeah. Also a clone player, so I just see like a force user, I don't really care how many wounds, I just go point, shoot.
Aim. spend all my friends' aims, fire support. Oh no, my
I
tank
played
blew up the force user. Oh no.
I play tank. I don't spend all my friends. I just spend Padmes.
Why spend all your friends when you can just use, 3 from Padme?
I was laughing because I'm actually writing an article for the fifth trooper about the saber tank and like unit guide, but also like my list analysis. So I was
Yeah,
doing the like actually doing the numbers on all the things that I know, uh, like with aims and stuff. And it's always
yeah,
funny. Like I always be like, yeah, no, like I kind of expect to roll 9 usually, and people are like, oh, that's crazy. And then I like did the math, and it was like, no, that's correct.
yep, yeah. It's like when you take a saber tank and a phase 1 rocket squad and you fire support the rocket into the saber tank and they're like, you can't expect to do 9 crits, and I'm like, the math says yes.
Well, so a saber tank, like how I use a saber tank on average, one shots in a rebel ATRT
Yep,
on average.
yep.
Um, is like an average AP shell saber, so it has impact 5.
Impact
No,
5, critical
yeah,
1.
critical 1. So like the average you with like 4 aims is 8, and
Yeah.
that easily kills an ATRT.
Yeah, the average with 1 aim with a rocket fire supported into it is 9.
Yeah,
And that's before you add in more aims.
yeah.
Like, it's
Um,
crazy.
it's always like I always see these people with like the rocket squad for fire sporting, and I think it's fine. I just almost think with like if you have a dedicated anti-armor piece already, the rocket squad is almost a little overkill.
Yeah, I
'Cause-
think the rocket squad is more of just a thing against if you run into double armor, right? It's
well,
just an
so
insurance policy against the double armor.
did you see my invader game against I think it was Matt Shorix when I killed both his AATs with my saber?
Yeah, I did. I also think one of the reasons you were able to do that was because he kept firing um armor
Yeah,
piercing shells into you, letting you use your dodges, right? I think he
um
should have been using the high velocity ones.
I looked back on that. I think like the way I had it positioned to like I'd actually got cover against one of his, which
Yeah.
helped a lot.
Yeah, cover really does help on that too.
The him using armor piercing shells was probably a mistake, but like on average, I think like he was using armor piercing shells. I think it ended up coming to about the same number of saves I had to roll because he was getting pretty successful armor piercing rolls. So
Yeah.
one of those things where it's like a roundabout way of getting to the same result.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
like the way that double AAT kills saber tanks is sitting at range 4 and barraging them, and I was able to engage at range 3, and at that point the saber tank can just kill them.
Yeah, exactly. Matt Schwartz was in my group in Invader, and he played double AAT against me playing a Saber. And I did the exact same thing. I did have a phase 1 rocket squad though. So I just moved them both into range 3 and just fire supported it for 2 turns, killed a tank, and then it was hostage, so we both had our hostage back. And then I just withdrew with everything and just made him come chase me.
Yeah. I also have vivid memories of ladder league semifinal, like ladder 3, Luke Cook. Like that was I was still sort of learning. That was like the first time I'd played like a competent AAT player, double AAT player with my tank list, and Luke Cook kind of spanked me. It ended up being close, but like the tank engagement was like turn 1 to like 2.5, and he completely won it just because he was able to keep me at range 4. So he was able to use his tanks at full capacity, and mine was just neutered.
Yeah. Yeah, for all of my Invader games, I had played double AAT, and then I got to his, and he had also played double AAT. So I brought a Saber with 2 rocket phase 1s.
Yeah.
And I was like, yep, I'm just going to tech against your list.
Yep.
I was also at the point, though, where if I lost that game, I wasn't making elims. So I was like, okay, well,
Yeah.
kind of gotta.
Me and like I was in Sean's group, and
Yeah.
we saved our like basically like we were both fighting, like we were fighting for the second spot. So we saved it to the last game. So then I was like, because he was gonna bring his list no matter what, and I was humming and hawing for so long about whether I wanted to bring like a Mando skew or something and go for a cover, or
Yeah,
just play my list. And I just played my list, and I managed to eke out a win. So that was the
yeah.
right decision.
You should have just gone triple stabs bombing or double airspeeder bombing run.
Uh, although like again, double AAT lists aren't actually that bad at a bombing run.
They aren't. They're actually not. Because his list also had stabs.
That's true. I forgot about that. Yeah, he is also had stabs. But like, even like if you just have like a double AAT, bunch of B1s, and like some other stuff, like you put 2 bombs on the AATs, and then like, or like maybe 1 bomb on the AAT, and then like 2 bombs or 1 bomb in your B1 horde, and like the tanks can get it there, and like the B1s can like juggle a bomb between them if they need to get it there.
Yeah, definitely.
It's definitely not the best at it, but it can do it.
It can do it. It can do it a lot better than some other lists can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, a lot of
Looks like
defensive
just
posturing here. Yellow
Yeah.
moved back. The T series moved up and bolstered, or kind of like moved back and bolstered, and now Mark II hid, took a standby and a dodge. Now these vets are moving up. Basically,
yeah, everything's just kind of hiding and waiting. I mean, it's key positions. They're playing the long game. However, that does favor Cool Edge now though, because he was already up 2x. Now he's up 3, and pretty soon we'll kill that airspeeder and be up 4.
The only thing I'm looking at though is like they are burning through their clock.
They are. They're at an hour 35 left, and this is round 2.
And like if this game, like every round that is cut off from this game, I think benefits Mitrokin because he
100%.
has a much closer to the KP. So
And I think Mitrokin is actually also looking at the clock. It doesn't seem like Cool Edge is. He keeps pulling all his units back. I don't think he realizes how short they actually are on time, and that this game
yeah,
could probably end in turn 4.
I think just sort of looking at the clock and their speed, I think we're looking at a turn 5. Like if everything sort of stays constant, I think we're looking at a turn 5 game here. But turn 4 is possible, but like that's a
Yeah,
bit of a stretch.
but I mean, for the amount of time it's taking to move naked B1s,
Fair enough.
right? I mean, we're halfway through the clock, not, we're about halfway through turn 2,
But like
and most of the units are naked B1.
they have sped up considerably though. Like
They
that
have.
first turn took about an hour. This one will probably take a bit over half an hour. So
yeah, I mean we're more than halfway through this turn, and it's only been 20 minutes.
so we'll see. That's just a fun little thing that could be interesting in this game.
All right, let's see what Cassian sees. To
Not
infinity
the
and
tank.
beyond. Definitely not the tank.
Although I actually like to see him put the silhouette up because the silhouette is actually slightly higher than his head. It was like right close to whether or not he could see him or not.
Yeah, just double moving into position.
Yeah, I think he moved a little bit far, unless
Yeah, he will. He probably won't be able to see the tank from there.
he might be gonna swing. He might play the recover card. What is it
Recover
called?
card. Yeah, swap to the
Your
pistol.
Soft pistol. Like he might be. He like Magicin's an experienced player. Like he might be recognizing how far back the droids are, and he might just sort of play to defend the middle. So
Which is what he
pistol.
needs to do.
Edge would really love some E5Ss right now.
Yeah. Yeah, just to poke and to get that critical one on that airspeeder.
Yeah. Like E5Cs are good. I like I'm starting to see the consensus of a lot of people starting to push towards E5Cs. Now I'm not a Droid player, but I've been found E5Ss to be uh way better just overall than E5Cs in my experience.
Yeah,
Keegan's
yeah.
definitely
I put
speeding up. He's like activating before, like as soon as that token flips. Sorry,
Yeah.
keep talking about your droid upgrades that I don't know what they are.
Okay, so the E5C is the 3 black hip firing like little machine gun or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and then the E5S is the range 4 red white critical 1 gun. Um, and like when you roll the E5S pool at range 3, you're basically guaranteed, not guaranteed, but averaging 2 crits, and then at range 4, you can often get 1 crit. And with
Gotcha.
that range 4, you're able to outrange a lot of lists, and like also just be able to poke while your droids are essentially safe. So whereas E5Cs do more hits on average, but like heavy cover can take that away a lot, and then have to be at range 3 to shoot. And crits are also just useful. Like in this situation, you could be trying to crit that airspeeder down. Like you have a little bit of an armor hedge. You also can like try to get through some dodges with those crits and various other fun things.
Sweet. Looks like he was trying to see something with the heavy, with the
He was
OM93.
trying to swing around a mall, I think is what the
Oh, is that what
yeah.
he's trying to look
See if
at?
see if you can throw some critical hits in the mall.
Just I think like he could take a battle droid leader. I think he could see that pretty easily around that corner. It's like a free shot.
don't think he's gonna have range on anything else. Yeah, looks like he's just gonna tile in for another turn of hiding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's how you play rebels. You make sure they don't get shot.
Yeah, I found out pretty quickly that I think most of the time the best way to play this game is to not play the game.
Yeah. Especially like at a competitive level, that's certainly true.
Oh yeah, I mean, sure.
And more so on
Uh,
certain missions than others too.
yeah, yeah. If this were intercept, it'd be totally different. But
Yeah.
you also like, there's also like a lot of people like not playing the game. Like they're doing a lot of positioning. You also like need to know how to like turn 5, turn 6, like do all the like minute things that like put you in a position to win. Um, so yeah,
Yeah, it's those razor thin margins that that
win
allow
and
you to
lose your
win
games.
games. Yep, exactly. If you put 3 observation tokens, yeah.
Or you just get wrecked by Luke triple Wookiees on a hostage exchange because you're playing double Gavs.
Oh boy.
Who the heck is the captain of my team and let that matchup happen? Oh wait, sorry, that's me. Never mind.
Who's playing that list?
That was me. That was my game yesterday.
Oh, oof.
But I took one for the team and I was like, I'll take this, like, we'll take this, and then we have like our other we have 3 good matchups and then one not that great, but
Yeah, that's like usually how it works. Like also like I was like the current pairing system was my brainchild essentially.
Mhm.
Like then let's talk it through and all that. But like the actual like words were edited by him, but like were basically what I wrote down for him.
Mhm.
So I found like the idea behind it was to make sure that like both teams got a good decent chance to hose the other team possibly, but also that like there was the risk was a little bit more spread out versus the former pairing phase.
Yeah, the way I kind of see it working is that both teams should and do kind of get 2 matchups that go in their favor. And then there's a
Yep,
coin flip matchup on the vertical map,
yep, that's pretty much it.
which
Um,
luckily for us, we're 1-1 so far because obviously I lost to, mind trick you serve your master well force push turn 2 moving my hostage back to where it started. But we won the vertical map.
Nice. And like one of my teammates identified like the vertical map is like possibly the most important matchup because it is the neutral one, or it's supposed to be
Yeah.
the neutral one. So speaking of just the cover situation, it looks like he actually was managed to get Maul in cover here, or out of cover here.
Out of cover. Yeah, that's. Ooh.
That's big.
Ooh. That's. Ooh. Got,
It would light cover from suppression at least. Oh, and then
ooh.
oh boy, here we
And
go.
Maul's got no dodge.
Yeah.
We could see a dead Maul here.
Not super likely, but red dice are
Red dice are
red dice.
fickle creatures.
But also the airspeed is just now way out in the open with 5 wounds.
Oh, that's a
That's
dead
a dead
Maul.
Maul.
Wow.
Oh,
Down goes Maul.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
I think that evens up the game.
very much. I mean, that might
like-
And trading Maul
Well-
for Jin and a speeder.
not quite,
But-
but it puts Mitro a lot farther back in.
I mean,
If he
the
cannot,
speeder's not living, right?
if he cannot
Yeah.
lose the speeder this turn. Oh, he didn't take an aim. He pivoting. Interesting. Yeah, because if his speeder can live this turn and he can get it away, then I think he's definitely ahead. But it does have 3 observed tokens on it.
Right.
Yeah, he also like because of like Maul was the most forward droid unit. Like Metrikin now solidly controls the middle.
Yeah, he can really move even all these things at the bottom here. You guys can't see what I'm pointing at, but the
Yeah,
vets and the
the
pathfinders up, and hide behind this building from the tank.
And like Metrikin's list is basically those units are now to double move to the center point, whereas all the droids are probably 4 moves, if not 5. So like those are just actions that need to be spent to get there. So those are actions that the rebels will be able to shoot and the droids will not be able to.
Yeah, I have. Excuse me. I'm very much liking Mitro's position over Cool Edge's right now. Like with Maul gone, that's huge. Because now
Yeah.
Mitro can just move, sit here, shoot.
Yeah, I just
And
think he had to sacrifice his speeder to do it, and he basically gave up Jin for free. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
it was huge. Oh, sorry.
He gave up Jin for free, but Coolidge did shift backwards to deal with Jin, which I think you'd rather have Jin alive. But it's an interesting position right now to say the least.
Yeah. So he does have 3 observed tokens on it, so he's probably going to try to keep re-rolling so that he can get that crit. Spends 2 observed. Was that 2 observes or was that his aim?
I
Looks
assume
like that was 2 observes. He's got
That'd
one
be good.
more.
he doesn't have any critical. Like any dice he re-rolls is the same, so
Yeah. So
it doesn't
no.
really matter what order you do. Although I
No.
kind of would have preferred him going with the BXs later because they could shoot other things in the Rebel army.
Yeah, I very much agree. But that aim works.
Well, I might eat my words.
The other spear lives though. It lives.
Lives at 1.
Yeah,
He
But,
only had to re-roll
But he still has the
5
sniper
dice
unit.
to do it.
Yeah.
yeah. He basically rolled 7 dice to get 2 crits, which is pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, it's better than average. So
But who
Yeah.
does averages? Who does math? What is this?
Exactly. What's he got? He's got 2 B1 units left and another sniper team. So he's got 4 units left, it looks like, to try to get one more wound through that air speeder.
Should be able to do it.
Yeah, I can't see him having too much of a problem.
Yeah.
All right, I'll be RB.
Yeah, I don't think that's quite range 1.
Airspeeder's still kicking.
Yeah, Airspeeder made another save against a crit. So it's got
Beauty.
2 more attacks to go through. No
Oof.
crits from this unit.
Yeah, 1 hit.
He's got 1 more shot to kill that Airspeeder.
Who's the
Oh
last
boy.
activation?
Yeah. 1
Orange,
more unit of naked
ones.
B1s.
They're actually pretty far.
Yeah.
I think they get range. This is the only frustrating thing about streaming or observing games with TTS is you can't see ranges. So
Yeah,
did he just pass? No. Okay.
I think it
He
was
flipped.
selecting the wrong. Yeah,
Yeah, he
I think it was
flipped the order.
selecting the wrong unit for him.
Show me the range. I
Nope,
think
nope,
that's
you
out of
got.
range. To check
Yeah,
that.
I think so too. Because if you think about it, it's range 6 across, right?
Yeah.
So I'm pretty
Like
sure that's farther than
that's
3.
like almost certainly range 4 because
Yeah. Yep. Like he just moved over this way and did nothing.
I don't know if he actually could have got to range 3, but I would have liked to see him
Yeah,
try it.
I agree.
Anyway,
I
that was
don't.
a interesting
I,
turn 2.
yeah. I don't know if I almost would have liked him to just, go to the corner and throw 1 mini out and get rid of the minefield so that he doesn't have to deal with it later.
Yeah, I would have liked to see him to do something with that unit. He basically
Yeah.
didn't do anything with the unit, and he should have done something.
I
Yeah.
gotta imagine Keegan's gonna play something generic. I mean, he's. Oh,
Here,
we need to
yeah,
see
what
who's his
card?
field commander.
Right. Yeah, nominate a new commander.
Yeah, ambush versus standing.
Makes sense. He hasn't nominated a commander yet, right?
I mean, he
He might have, and we don't
he
know.
might not have used the token. I guess they could have done it verbally.
Again, weird things about the pass. Okay, cool. Weird thing about TTS is like in real life you'd be able to hear
Mm-hmm.
a little discussion, but
I think I'd be a big fan of just hearing the players talk, but everyone I've talked to has the opposite opinion of that. So
yeah, it's as someone who plays some competitive game, like I wouldn't really like. I think I've found I wouldn't really want all that to be on stream just because like you talk about weird stuff and like you're totally concentrating on the game. You don't really want to be watching your words. Like though not like you're saying some bad stuff, but like
right, it's one less thing you have to think about if you're not being recorded.
exactly, yeah.
Mhm.
And also like I've found a lot like I personally prefer to watch like commentary on games because someone concentrating on watching the game is very different than someone concentrating on playing the game.
Yeah, so Mitro had all of Jin's, Cassian's 2 and 3, and then ambush.
Is he firing the harpoon here?
Yep. It's surge crit. So for a surge or a crit.
Just a suppression.
Oh, I didn't take a name. Okay. Nope. Did he? Nope. So that would be the pulse ray move. Gonna hide that airspeeder pretty effectively. I don't think I've ever seen a better airspeed hit. Like airspeeders are never hidden.
Yeah, like
Yeah, that
that
sniper's
airspeeder
gonna get
living
a
through the
shot
last
on it.
turn. That is
There
true, but
will be a couple shots on it, but not the tank, and the tank would guaranteed to be killing it.
Right.
Like if those snipers are shooting the airspeeder, I don't think you feel too bad about that. Like at this point, the airspeeder's kind of like whatever. It's good to keep around, but not necessary. They want to divert one of their shots against it instead of their troopers. I think you feel okay about that.
I wonder if the tank can see anything. Just Cassian, I think.
Yeah, and he'd have to move to be at range. And he's kind of stuck. Like his base, like he cannot move forward very efficiently.
All right, let's see who he does go with. I'll be interested to see his ordering here. I don't know if he's remembering his aggressive tactics or if he's... No, he's not bolstering. I think he's just
No, he's doing
remembering his tactics.
that's aggressive tactics. So yeah, so like I said, that shot feels okay being diverted away from the troopers because almost guaranteed to kill a trooper. In fact, I think he actually. Oh no, there's a barricade there. He might have been able to get a light cover shot on the. Oh no, Pathfinder. That was suppression. Never mind. I was gonna say he has a pass and light cover, but there's suppression. So.
Does that count as a cover shot on the speeder?
Yep, but it
yep.
doesn't matter because you're just looking for crits anyway.
Right, true.
For people
For
asking where the red key positions is, it's a barricade right where the brown Mark II and Rebel veterans are. Both of those, well, the Mark II is touching it. The Rebel veterans are touching it, but not the leader. But it's a pretty safe one that I don't think the droids will be able to get to at all.
no,
Whereas the blue one is definitely one that the rebels could try to get to if they wanted to. They can go for either that or the center.
yeah, I honestly hadn't even considered how like the rebels are basically controlling 3 KPs at this point. Huh, yeah. It's amazing how quickly a game of Legion can swing on its head.
It surges to crit, but he didn't roll a surge. He just rolled a hit.
The BXs?
No, they're talking about the airspeeder shot in chat.
They're talking about the harpoon shot.
Harpoon shot. But he didn't roll a surge, right? He just rolled a hit.
No, he re-rolled like something afterwards accidentally, I think, which was a
Yeah,
surge.
yeah,
Yeah.
because he didn't take an aim, I thought, right?
No,
Yeah.
he originally took an aim, but then didn't.
No, that was the turn before.
Yeah. I have no
Yeah.
idea. The players are doing what they're doing, and we're just here
They have it sorted out.
watching
But
watching an airspeeder somehow hide and run away and live.
yeah, Mike, the airspeeder does surge to crit. That was
It
a
does. It's
errata.
like so they're saying in the box right now it's a surge, but I don't think that was the original roll.
No, the original roll was a hit.
Hit.
I'm
And that
pretty sure he
Yeah.
accidentally pressed reroll or something.
Yeah, I'm 99% sure that it wasn't.
it
You
it
guys
was
should be
it
able
was
to
a
just rewind the stream, right? You can just like you can just go back if you're watching on YouTube, I don't think.
Yeah, you can do that on YouTube.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't want to screw up my screen, I guess, because I just have it on like the little box on the studio. But you guys should go back and do it. You should only have to go back like a minute.
Yeah, the whole thing though is with that surge is was that him accidentally re-rolling it, right? Like just hitting the R key, or did he actually take an aim and mean to re-roll it, right? Of which we don't know what he actually
Right.
did,
Yeah, I'm not sure.
right? So
And again, that's a situation where that's
It-
kind of up to the player.
yeah, it's up to the
Yeah.
players to catch that one. We don't do anything for that unless we're called in. And by we, I mean Timbo, because Timbo's the judge here.
Yeah, and
And
I
I'm just,
think
just
he
hilarious.
probably pointed it out, but the red barricade is here and the blue barricade is here for KP.
Yeah.
I'm showing with my
Yep.
my mouse button.
I actually re-pulled up the YouTube so I can look at the chat because I have been completely ignoring it. I also just saw on Twitch, or not on Twitch, on Discord that Zach Berry actually messaged me. Obviously, it was getting into his head.
They've been heckling me for about an hour, so giving me a hard time about my top-down view. Now I'm like moving around all this. I feel like I'm playing a stupid video game.
You can also, if you found not something you might want to try on the fly, but in the options like escape menu, there's an option to turn down the movement speed and rotation speed, which is often a good idea for streaming because then you're like when you're pressing keys and stuff, it's not quite as jerky movement.
Gotcha. '20s gem. Okay, bro. You young whippersnappers.
Yeah.
You guys like all. I feel like you're all 17.
Quite 21.
Jesus Christ.
Wait. I'm older than Timbo. Oh my goodness, I feel old now.
What are you, 21 and a half?
22.
Good God.
I
And no wonder I'm the only one drinking.
was very surprised when Timbo's like, I'm still in school. I'm like, oh, he's taking a long degree. Nope, never mind.
Well, I am taking a long degree. It's just I'm also still 21.
Yeah. It's okay. I can now tell Mr. Morris I feel old enough that he can stop heckling me for being a kid, and he can just heckle you instead.
Oh well.
Look out, Timbo. You're going to start getting a lot of library card jokes.
I haven't had a library card in so long.
Oh, you should get one.
I live out in the middle of nowhere. I don't have a local library. Actually, no, I don't actually.
But now you can get a library card wherever your local one is, and then just have them downloaded to your Kindle or your phone or your tablet or whatever. You don't even have to actually go to a library. But you have access to movies and books and stuff.
Yeah, I just podcast everything.
These green droids are getting aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's.
He needs to, though.
The end game, yeah.
He's realizing that they got an hour and 5 minutes on the clock, and he's sitting in his deployment zone.
Yep. This is a problem though, because Rebel vets shooting into B1s is gonna be a massacre.
Yeah, it's like a giant pencil sharpener.
There's one thing about this list of Nitro that's pretty flexible is there's a lot of like decently sized dice pools, as well as Pierce. You can deal with the red saves and the hordes pretty effectively.
Yeah, it's cool. It's like doesn't feel like most Rebel lists. It's like a weird demented potential gun line.
Well, Mitrokin's been playing a pretty consistent, not consistent list, but like pretty consistent style for a while. Like in my live streaming notification, I put Mitro Rebels because a lot of people know what that means.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean he's totally inspired me. I've been building a lot of lists with vets and Mark twos. I'm not on the full like 140 point Rebel vet unit, but I do love the idea of some Mark twos and some vets parked in front of a bus that's just feeding
Yep.
aims with and a dodge and Leia and um like Lando or and Chewbacca, which all fits. So a lot of
Yeah.
surge to crit and a lot of range 3 shots, like good range 3 shots.
Yeah. The in actuality, like Rebel DLTs, like they're quite a bit cheaper, so they're probably better than vets. But like I own vets in real life because I was buying a Rebel army and it was my second army, and veterans are cheaper ways to get 2 units than trying to get a bunch of Rebel troopers. Um, but so yeah, and now that like veterans and Mark II's got a little bit of a buff, they feel a lot better.
Yeah, I mean
Um,
I think I have 5 units of Rebel Troopers and I have 2 units of vets with the Mark II guy. And yeah, I love Rebel Troopers. I pretty much played them exclusively as my core. Yeah, I don't think I played any other core. But I don't know, the Mark IIs, the fire support on the Surge to Crit guys with that bus behind it just seems really good to me.
yep. Well, I'm list I've sort of built that I'm excited to try with the bus is I think it's Riv in a bus with operative Luke. There's like a medic and the tactician bus has an HQ uplink. And then it's like 3 vets with the heavy, a Mark II, a naked fleet for grabbing stuff, and then 3 units of snipers. I think
Hmm.
that's the it's like 780 right as I have it right now.
Yeah, I went
So
the complete opposite direction. I have like a sniper for the back line, but then I wanted, um, yeah, I don't know. I wanted a little bit heavier on the core and have R2 and really just use the bus to sit there and feed and also have the range 4 shot and deliver R2 at the end. I'm like not super high on Rebel snipers. All right, looks like he's changing targets here instead of the green. He's gonna once again try and I once again am asking you to kill this sniper.
yeah, 2 crits.
There you go.
I mean, last time he got 4 hits and it didn't help, so let's see what happens this time.
Um, yeah, I do understand your sentiments about snipers, but
There it is.
or I guess I had a surge token,
We
but
did it.
yeah, snipers are kind of a necessary evil.
Oh, he's splitting
I,
fire. I see. Yeah, sorry, go
oh
ahead.
yeah, mine as well because you had them in range, but uh, snipers are kind of a necessary evil. But I also think like with the bus, like turn 1 and 2, potentially when you don't really have anything else to give aims to, like or rebel snipers with access to aims possibly are gonna feel quite a lot better.
I'll stay over here.
Ooh, that'll be 3 after
Yeah,
cover.
that makes a lot of sense.
Pretty
It's
good
a
roll
big shot.
there.
I think he can see 3 also, so that's the perfect number.
Yeah, I would. He might be able to see 4, but definitely 3.
Oh,
Big save.
Well, that was
man,
one.
some of the dice rolls in this game have been crazy.
I do think though that a bus with like operative Luke, basically healing a free wound every turn is going to be, let's say, interesting.
Yeah, to say the least.
Um, but we'll see how it. Like I'm interested to see how it goes, but I could easily like. I'm also like, if there's a meta shakeup, I'm totally fine with that. Like, it's fun to have big meta shakeups in games every once in a while, but I think the bus could easily because of how easily, not easily, but how it can get units into melee. You easily see gun lines lose a lot of power potentially.
Yeah. I mean, we've already seen gun lines go down a fair bit since Wookiees got their buff. Since Maul came out, right? Like they've already gone down a little bit. So, but I mean, gun lines have been so powerful and on the top of the game for such a long time. I'm okay with the game getting a little closer ranged.
Well, and like just how the core rules are set up, like gun lines work well. Um, like they have a fair number of sort of medium priced activations. They can throw a fair number of dice, and like not any one roll is going to win or lose you the game.
Yeah,
Whereas like
exactly.
when you have focus pieces and force users and stuff, one bad roll or one really good roll can win or lose you games. Um,
Yeah.
and that's where like, and I think that's the biggest problem with focus pieces like in competitive lists is like when one roll can win or lose you a game when you're playing like 8 games at a major tournament, you're probably going to get one of those really bad rolls at least.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So if the bus can get you into melee before you even have a chance to roll dice on your uh focus piece, then huzzah. These pro droids are playing with a little bit of fire here because those veterans, if they were to move and then cohere forward, they could probably get those pro droids at range 1 of the unit and then shoot them.
Yeah. Yeah, those probe droids are getting
Which is
a
a
little
fun thing you
close.
So you can
which is a
just
fun thing
cohere
you can do,
forward.
right? Because the incognito rules is about unit to unit. It's not about unit leaders.
Oh, okay,
So
cool.
yeah, so if you cohere forward, which is usually not great, but in this case,
Right,
you just cohere
strategically, if it's
forward.
important, it's important.
Exactly. You get one mini close to those guys, and then you could just shoot them. So
Yeah, I feel like I'm learning all those your cohere primer that you mentioned in the chat yesterday.
yeah, so because I was talking about it with because I said in oh I should because I have not that I have something written, but I have sort of a pretty standard cohesion talk I do with newer players when I play with them. And I was gonna convert it to article form, but then Kyle pointed out that he basically did the same thing, and I was like, ah, perfect. Then I'll just send that to people. And it's sort of cohesion rules is something that you have to wrap your head around, but once you do, it becomes automatic. It's just a thing that you do. So
Cohesion is one of those things that it takes a little while to get the hang of first.
yeah, especially like I came from AOS and like 40K is similar. Like like in Warhammer, basically every mini is its own thing, whereas Legion is all about the squad leaders. So
Yeah.
just a different or just a different way of thinking.
Is Jin the
Well,
only model that Keegan's lost? That's wild.
yep.
Yeah. Yep. Jin's the only one he's taken besides wounds on the airspeeders.
Tamal, a probe droid, a BX, and a blue B1. This has been an anemic fight.
The yeah, despite Keegan throwing Jin kind of out in the middle of nowhere, he's been really good about hiding his stuff. It looks like they're treating this entire blue base as the key position.
Yeah, that's what it's looked like.
Cool. That's right. I'm pretty sure that's why it was added because that golden jest is a little bit small for center KP.
Yeah, it's really easy to just block out.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is an
It's also
interesting
like
move. I don't know what he's gonna have.
I think he's looking at those green B1s possibly.
Oh yeah.
They only have or left. He could probably get depending on how tall stuff is, but he might be able to get them in light cover. Um, and I think he'd be pretty well hidden from the tank, at least for an aim shoot. Tank could be able to move, shoot, and kill them. Looks like though he's just going to. He might have also like he might be measuring that for later.
Mhm. Yeah, because he can't
But
cohere too far forward, or else he's gonna be
no,
in the mine.
because like the rebels haven't lost much, but they don't really have a lot to begin with.
Yeah.
And there's tons of B1s to kill, so you don't want to be throwing away those black dice by losing models. You want to sort of let the B1s expose themselves and then just hit them all at once and delete stuff.
Wonder what Edge even has for cards left. Did he play? He played standing orders this turn, right? That was him. So he probably
Yeah.
has
So he has ambush left in his
Yeah.
hand. What other cards did he play? He's played standing orders
He played
twice, and
Maul's 1
But
pip, and then
so he's
divulge the 2
yeah,
pip
so
and orbital strike.
he's out of 2 pips. So he probably has Roger Roger and Assault. Oh sorry, he that one of the 1 pips
no,
counts as
yeah.
one
So
of the one
he's
pips
got, yeah, he's probably got one
assault.
of those. Yeah. If I was him, I would take assault. I mean, I
Well,
actually,
he has that comms relay though, so Roger Roger's probably fine.
it's true.
Um,
I mean, I have his list right here. So like, oh,
yeah,
but he didn't put his
oh yeah,
cards in it.
he probably has Roger Roger and Mechanized Incursion in his hand. Is probably all he has left.
Yeah, that'd be my
Yeah,
guess.
because he has a 3 pip and a 1 pip for sure. That's a fun tip about standing orders on TTS. Like so, I always like to pile my cards, not pile them, but like play them out in order so you can see what's been played. But when you play standing orders, just copy and paste it and throw another version into your hand. You can leave standing orders in the order of the cards you placed on the table. Um, well, I do it anyway.
Uh, the ingenuity of a young mind never disappoints.
It's ingenuity, but also I always forget to click the turn counter, so I count the turns with what cards are played. But if I
Yeah,
play
I do
standing orders,
too. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's fair. I do the exact same thing. I count it based on the cards.
I just leave a gap in the order, but I will copy and paste now.
yeah, it totally makes sense for TTS, but IRL having a bunch of extra cards sitting around is probably not good. Though I realize I could probably stick an extra standing orders in my bag, and if I play it and ask my opponent, that they might be okay with it. It's not a bad idea. Go mind.
All right. Kicking these paths out, trying to take out. Once again, I think he can only see 2.
Well, so yeah, so he can see 2 right now. He could see more if he swings another guy out further.
Yeah, danger.
But like heavy cover, like the thing about path though is it's such a it's a slot machine. So you kind of want to always be seeing a lot of models in case you
You
hit
spike it,
jackpot.
yeah.
Like I think this last guy can actually see. Like I think only one guy is hidden now. It's hard to tell with that tree there.
Yeah, I know. I wish they would flip it down for me.
I know, right? Stupid trees. Like, who put those there?
Okay, he's definitely got it now.
Flip down
No
your
question.
terrain, people.
Nah, pretty obvious now because you can see the outlines of the silhouettes when they're selected, and it's probably doesn't even need to move that much. But oh, that guy's off the field! Oh my god, freak out! No, I don't really care.
Panic.
Yeah, he definitely has them. Unroll that slot machine. Well,
Not bad. Not. I mean, not. Yeah. Huh?
3 crits. Take it.
All right.
nothing. They have a surge, so it'll be pretty good saves with those droids. Oh, they had 2 surges.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
gross. Oh, gross.
What did they have 2 Sturges from?
Must have got a bolster.
Oh, did they get a bolster? Where's that tactoroid? All the way back here, though?
They double
They
moved
did.
up.
They double moved, so
They
I think
did.
they
They
were.
did.
Yeah,
Right.
so 1 from aggressive and then
I kept thinking that double move was last turn, but that wouldn't
Yeah,
make sense.
so he's forced 6 saves on those droids, and he's killed 2. Feels bad.
Man, these rebel troopers are saving better than most of my army did last night, and they roll red saves.
Yeah.
all right, looks like he's got red sniper, tank, orange core. He didn't go with that orange core yet. I swear he went with the orange core, but
No, that was the end of last turn.
really?
Yep.
Feels like forever ago.
That clock is really ticking down.
Yeah, 40, like, this is what I'm saying. Like, we're still in turn 3, right? Like,
Yeah, still in turn 3.
Your
I
you
think
originally
I think they'll just squeak in the top of turn 5, but it's going to be tight.
when you originally said the 4-turn game, I was like, no way that's gonna happen. But
Yeah.
I would be shocked if they didn't get to turn 5 still. But it's a possibility. I didn't think one
Yeah.
existed.
Yeah, I don't know if you. I think you were still around at the end of that game last night, right, Tim? Versus the Tim, versus I forget who his opponent was, but it was the other match.
Oh
in this
no,
game.
I pieced out. I assume the clones won.
Yeah, it ended up ending
Okay.
early. Like they didn't get a turn 6, and
Uh,
yeah, it was close. The turn 6 was definitely going to be interesting.
yeah, we were out in the field doing work, and I pieced out. And I thought about watching the rest of the game, but I was like, I think I know what happened.
Hmm.
I was also losing my mind about the clone cohesion, like that really was too. But it wasn't too bad. But one of
Oh,
the members of the AA5s messaged me, so I kind of sent along my cohesion primer to them because there was a few things there that were uh nothing too bad, but a few that was
yeah,
like
just room
that
for
was to the
improvement.
point there. Room for improvement, and that's always what we're looking for.
Yeah, I'm sure they appreciated it. Looks like the repair droid brought back the BX.
Yep. I think at this point in the game, that's what you do because that AAT is not going to die most likely. So does need to hurry up because at this point, if every like not reaching turn 5 or turn 6 is just hurting Cool Edge and helping Mitro.
I didn't catch who they were shooting.
I think the airspeeder.
Oh yeah, airspeeder. There you go. There's the crit. So he needs it for his life. Oh, he's gonna reroll.
If
Yep.
oh, the observation tokens.
Got it again.
Oh
That,
my
what
god.
is that 3
Third one in a
saves
row.
on the? Oh.
Unreal. Well, to the 7
To be
people
fair,
still
the
watching.
Man, this is when
great
you just
show.
this is
like
what the
dice have been
table flip
nuts.
button. Yeah, this is what the table button was made for.
Yeah, the B1s have saved like crazy, and the airspeeder went, "Oh, I'll do that too."
Yeah, I played a ladder game. It's endless, and I fired into his Sabine. I got like 4 hits through cover. Right, I was like, Sabine. I needed one more to kill Sabine, and he like saved full out. Right, so he then
Gross.
moved his airspeeder around and shot R2. Right, and got 4 hits. So of course R2 saved full out.
Yeah. Well, I will always be haunted by the 7 out of 9 save that kicked me out of Invader semifinals.
It's an unforgettable one.
Yeah.
Wow, it's unforgettable / nightmare inducing.
I mean, you're not gonna forget that either way.
Nope. Although, like, it was funny though, because like I was like, oh, it happened, and then I think I was listening to a podcast or watching a game like a week later, and it all just came flooding back. So like every once in a while, it's just like, oh, this sucks.
Hmm.
Oh well.
These
We're
vets are getting spicy.
Yeah, they're just like, all right, tank, come get me.
Well, like they're pretty much like they currently hidden from the tank. Um, so he's
Y-
playing the gambit that's gonna force the tank to move.
I know, but
Um,
do you want it
he
to
also
like? I don't know.
shouldn't drop that mine token because that would be dumb.
Yeah, that'd be really bad.
Uh,
Yeah.
did he forget about it?
He was measuring super closely, and then he just put a guy in range of the mine.
Did he forget?
I don't know. We'll see. Uh, that's heavy cover regardless. So,
If they start rolling dice, you'll have to hop in.
I'm gonna let the attack go, and then
Well, the mine would change the attack though, right?
oh, that's true. Yeah, yeah,
Right. So as soon as they start rolling dice, you gotta hop in because the mine would change the attack. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Hop.
yeah. Good point.
Because if he kills a guy, then he has to completely reroll the pool.
Yeah.
He's probably just
Sure might.
looking there. He's like, "Oh shoot, there's a minefield here."
Well, he measured it and was keeping guys out, and then his last guy put down.
Oh,
Oh,
oh no.
although only one guy
Well,
is in range of it,
yeah.
so
So he can
he
just
could
kill
lose
that.
2 on the first one. Yeah, I was kind of shocked because yeah,
Mitro, Mitro, we just like
okay,
watching you feel pain.
so that's one. So
This is where you're like, I hope I fail to save,
yeah,
right?
because
It's that one
you
time.
could lose 2. Yeah.
Yeah. And now,
So
yeah. So he loses a black die, but
yeah, and that guy was totally unnecessary because he can still see all 4. That was just a complete brain fart,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
and it gets rid of
But
that mind too, so the droids can
yeah, the
have
droids
a
can just walk straight through.
Whoopsie daisies. But yeah, so that little anti-mind tech that you can do.
Well, good
Third
thing
time
he's got critical too.
and well, he also surges to hit.
Yes.
So that's actually like really good. That's 6.
Yeah.
Um,
Like that's a great roll.
First time I've ever actually seen the surge to hit on vets really matter.
Yeah. I had a roll like that on my Gav tank where out of my 8 dice, I rolled 2 hits and 5 surges, and I'm like, I'm so glad they put the hammers pilot in the game.
Yeah.
Because I was like, man, without that, this would have been terrible.
Alright, so he's gonna be
And
left with
another
just the
save.
leader.
Yeah, which
You know,
is such a pain for Maestro. Like that unit should so be dead by now.
yeah, like that unit still being alive is terrible for him.
Yeah. Because at this point, like it's KP, it's a game of unit leaders. So every unit leader that's taken off is a big win.
Yeah, especially with the mine mess up.
Yeah, that probably won't matter too much in the end of the day. They also get a suppression token, which if they get shot, they get cover. Woohoo! But, yeah. Yeah, and that game last night too. The having 2 full arcs together with no surge generation near them was beginner error.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they saved incredibly well anyway, but it was lessons learned. It's also things that like I definitely screwed up in the past. So
Yeah, I mean, this is an impossible game to play perfect.
well, then Luke Cook walks in and says hi, but
Luke Cook also walks in and says, "Here are my dice. Here are my crits. I will do that and play perfect."
I mean, if you just
here's
roll crits, you have a little leeway.
here's my dice. Here's my fireball. Let's go.
Yeah, I remember the one game I had to play Luke Cook. It was the previous season of Invader, and I got through a group that consisted of like me, LJ, Nima, Orc, and like another dude, right?
Group
And I
of
was like,
death.
right? I was like, okay, so I made it out of that group second behind Orc, and I'm like, okay, cool. And then I got technophobia for my like round of 64, but I was able to like beat him barely. And then I got Luke Cook after that. I'm like, really?
Oof.
I'm like, this is my season. All right.
Um,
And now these,
K2 now has 3 aims stacked up on him. It's a fun time.
Yeah, man. K2 is going this turn. The question is, do you shoot? Uh, the probe droids haven't lost their incognito yet, I guess, have they? So you have to
No,
shoot the red. Yeah, so but you just
you shoot.
pile it into those red battle droids.
Yeah, with 3 aims, you shoot into red, and then you like possibly go first with K2 and then hit green afterwards without an aim
Yeah.
and then back possibly. I don't know. Um, with 3 aims, you definitely want to go for bodies, not just unit leaders at that point.
Yeah, Mitro's really threatening Cool Edge's key position.
all right.
Cool. threatening his own KP. Oof.
Yep.
Yep. So that mine lets these orange guys take that other side. Gonna give them a much
Yeah.
clearer path.
This will be heavy cover, so
Doesn't matter for a crit.
yep. Second guy down.
Do those aims matter on K2? Did he already go? I don't see. He must have
No,
already
K2
he
gone.
is.
Yeah, K2 has not gone yet.
Both his upper of tokens are flipped down.
Oh yeah, K2 must have gone already.
'Cause,
Oh,
yeah, if
maybe.
this tank is going, there can't be anything else, right? This has got to be his last activation.
Well, that kind of sucks for K2.
I don't think they're gonna get to turn 5.
This tank's gonna wreck those brown rebel vets, I think. Yeah, 32 minutes. They'll have to go through the next round really quick.
Yeah. 32 minutes at the rate
Yeah.
they're playing it.
I mean, like, it's taking him a while to decide what he wants to shoot at.
And like if they don't get to round 5, like Mitra probably just wins because he has things in movement range of the KP, and Coolidge kind of doesn't.
Coolidge
Yes,
has one BX unit that's in movement range of the KP. And
and
that's
the
it.
lone B1 and then the AAT.
That's
Yeah.
a full 7.
What is he shooting at?
I'm assuming it's the brown vets, because I think he has them out just in their suppression cover.
Yeah, I looked at it quick, and like arcs are a lot wider than your brain tells you because
Oh,
you see the front of the tank. It's like, but those firing arcs come way out.
it's only 6 because he only has critical 2.
Critical 3.
Oh.
It's like cover because they had a suppression token.
Oh. Where's the third? Oh, critical eye. There it is. So much text.
Yeah, but
Critical
I mean
3.
that unit is now gone.
It is gone.
Yep.
He tried to trade 1 for 1, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, you just
Well,
can't really do that against B1s though, especially with your
no.
100 or almost 100-point veteran unit.
I think it's over 100, right?
I think
Yeah,
it's
it's like
just
The
just
one
over
of the guys
100.
on the other team is asking, do you finish the turn or do you stop when the timer ends?
you finish the turn.
Finish the turn. Yeah.
Yeah. So if they get
The-
command cards down with seconds left on the clock, they play turn 5.
Yeah, I think with 30 minutes left, it's going to be tough, but we shall see.
At a IRL tourney, you usually like the time runs out, and then often there's a 15-minute hard dice down.
Yeah.
But on TTS, because we're all at home anyway, you just play out your last round.
Gotcha.
But I mean, who really needs a hard dice down when you can just play a full 6-round game in 45 minutes?
I still haven't had a game go to time. I mean, I still haven't had a lot of firsts. ASEP, you were one of my firsts. You're the first person I ever had. I panicked a unit off the board. I'd never done that before until our game.
Oh yeah, right. And that was my unit too. I mean, Echo did what he needed to do. He panicked a full arc unit off the board.
Ooh.
I mean,
Oof.
it only had Echo left, but it panicked.
Still hurts. Echo by
It does.
himself can work.
But yeah, he had killed the fives unit with it, but we were actually playing key positions.
On
And the
disarray.
problem, yeah, and disarray. But the problem was those two units made him go so far to the corner, he just couldn't get back to the center quick enough, and the rest of my ball just sat there.
I had a shot
Yep.
to win at the end. Sabine whiffed.
Yep, yep, Sabine whiffed, which saved me. He
Sabine.
needed,
I've now my last 2 games I've played against Sabine, I've had a explosions hit a majority of my army, and like one game hit literally every unit of my army, and between dodge sharing and nimble and knowledge and defense, it's like done a collective like 8 wounds, 7
Well,
wounds.
Gar's fair and balanced, so
yeah,
makes
Yeah.
sense.
knowledge and defense is just a hard counter to explosions too. Like,
Yep.
Yeah,
I,
I think you gotta
yeah.
bait it out.
I also had a situational aware, like that was my situational awareness OB list, where basically I take out a tank and slot in OB1 and then put situational awareness and everything. And so I had 2 vigilance, so I had 3 dodges or sharing to get rid of crits, and then I had 5 dodges on OB, which isn't the best knowledge and defense turn, but it only hit 5 units or something, so it was a pretty solid turn.
yeah, I remember because me and Endless were casting that, and we were just like, man, this is gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is gonna be a really interesting turn. Keegan does not have a lot left.
No.
No, I mean his biggest asset is that they're running out of time.
Yeah.
I know,
And
but
hits rapidly. The
it's
biggest problem though for Keegan is, because of the way things are positioned, Keegan needs to kind of decide at the start of the turn. Is this game going another turn, or do I just run everything onto the KP now?
Yeah,
Because he could stand and shoot this turn if he knew it was doing another turn. Um, but he's not guaranteed that. So it's a bit of a pickle right now.
yeah, it's a tough choice. I mean, by the time that like we're down to 26 minutes now, and we haven't had an activation yet. So I don't know. My assumption, if I was playing, would be that I need to get on the KP now.
Yeah, well, and like if like depending on how sweaty you're being, like if I'm Keegan, I think this game's probably not going to turn 5, but I'm not going to be super quick this turn, right? Like sort of plot onto the center of KP or whatever KP you want to go for, but don't be super quick about it.
you don't have to
Um,
rush. You can play at the same pace you've been playing the entire
Yeah.
game. Yeah.
exactly, yeah. Because yeah, like if he rushes on the KP, his Coolhead shoots his turn, and then there's another turn, then he just wins. So, but there still hasn't been an activation.
hmm So orders on everybody. There's just 1 core token in there, maybe 2 core tokens in there. Looks like orange and green in the bag with the T series. Leading with the droids, getting the observation tokens. Interesting. Did not move the droids into base contact with the blue. But it's quick activation.
Mm-hmm.
Well, is probably just a move standby. dodge.
Or dodge. Actually, I don't hate standby here because the only thing that could shoot you from range is the AT, and I don't think either matter, but
Yeah,
I think
looks
you,
like he'll take a standby.
I think you could come out a little more and not get hit by the tank. And
no,
still
you hide because if you only have one unit back there, if somehow it gets sniped off, then you lose. So
Yeah,
you just
that's
hide
true.
it. Yeah.
I just want to greed that green guy.
I actually like you also like with emplacement troopers, you probably also wanted to rotate them a little bit so the gun tip was a little bit more into the building because they don't use silhouettes.
Right.
That's I think a little much for that unit right now.
I just think you could have peeked a little bit and gotten him. Maybe not.
Yeah,
Maybe
but
you'd have to come way out.
yeah, but if those things have cumbersome, so you couldn't move and shoot with your proper dice pool, so you'd be shooting with one black and hoping for a crit.
Cumbersome doesn't count for standby, does it?
Well, not for
Nope.
standby, but
Yeah, I'm saying
I
come
don't.
up and standby, like move back and standby. So when the green guy comes in, you have the shot on him.
Fair enough.
But that's being very greedy, like you said. You can't lose the
Okay.
red barricade.
Look at you thinking about plays. I like this.
I mean, I got nothing else to do. I feel like I'm the only. I feel like I'm the only one drinking on a school night. And yeah.
Man,
Watching
I
some
got to
gaming.
be up way too early to work tomorrow to be
What time do you get
drinking
up for work?
on a night like tonight. Um, I have to be there before 7, so I have to wake up at 6.
And are
It,
you on the East Coast?
no, I'm not. I'm more central.
Dude, I gotta be up in 5 hours for school.
Yeah. Yep. But see, I
And
don't
I'm
get to. I
twice
don't
as
get.
old as you.
Yes, but my job also includes literally moving, giant 20-foot pieces of sheet metal for 9 hours.
Could this be it?
Oh, is this the airspeeder? Is this going to be the airspeeder done? Eventually, I will have my job where I get to sit in a chair and just relax.
Oh, 2 crits. On
I don't.
Uh,
Why would you have not just spent the aim for Pierce though?
that was an observation token.
Oh, it was an observation token.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Right.
And he might as well spent it because if
Ye-
the unit dies, then
Yeah. And I mean,
they go away. So.
you rolled a second crit.
That's big.
Yeah.
That second crit was big.
Yeah. All that Cool Edge needs to do now is he just needs to tie on like the barricades. He just needs to go 1-1, win on points.
Yeah.
Also, to your point, Bobby, I don't know how I found it, but I found that the older the people around me seem to get, the less sleep they like to usually get.
I mean, I like to be pretty well rested, but I do have the easiest day in the world tomorrow. So is that
That's not touching.
Yeah,
That is
touching.
not touching. It's short. He needs another turn.
There you go.
I said we have standardized testing, and I don't have to proctor tomorrow, and I don't have to teach tomorrow. So I literally am just like hanging out
Nice.
for a few hours, and then putting a movie on in the auditorium for all the kids who took the test.
Nice. Those are the fun days. Those are
Yeah.
the fun days.
We're gonna do Into the Spider-Verse, I think.
It's okay. When I show up to work super tired tomorrow, I'm just gonna go sit by the plasma and be like, hey, you don't really understand how the computer coding part works. I can do that part. So I'll just sit here and watch.
Then
like Green's rallying. Gets
Yep.
one.
yeah, I will be out in the field getting stung by bees.
Brutal.
Man, Timbo's out here just flexing on us.
Farmed MBs. He must have developed an immunity by this point.
It's still hurts. Depends where you get stung. But I'm mostly immune. The saying is that only the first 10,000 hurt.
Not bad. Is that like a family business or just interested? You just had an interest in it.
Family business. We are a centenarian farm at this point. My great grandmother sort of started our what sort of not directly our family business, but sort of our family beef stock kind of dates back to my great grandmother.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Oh, that was a mistake. They're not getting another turn. He should have touched the barricade.
Yeah, I agree. They got 18 minutes left, so I do not think they're going to get another turn.
This is the fastest they've played, so
Cool Edge is playing like he's getting another turn, and Metrican is playing like this is the last turn. So we'll
yeah.
see who's right.
Yep. It'll end very badly for whichever one of them chose wrong.
Yep. Although, like, Metrican does have more activations close. Like, even if it does go for another turn, like, the tank can only kill one activation per turn, and
Doesn't it?
everything else is.
Yeah,
Can it shoot two different things? Can it
It
barrage?
could, but it could, but you're throwing 4 dice. You're not going to kill 2 activations with its shots. You focus fire and kill 1 activation per turn, basically.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Into Flesh and Blood. I tried Flesh and
Mitro's
Blood. It's okay. Also, Tim, the guy who played last night, that Philip Arp, he's messaging. He's about the game last night in the chat.
Yeah, I
Nice.
saw that.
Okay.
I didn't see his last.
I'm not super sure about that cohesion placement. I feel like he might almost have blocked K2 off of his objective. Although he might be able to fit him in just on the corner there.
Yeah, I don't know why all went on the point. That seems like a mistake, but it could be like that AAT could potentially displace some stuff. So they might be trying to hedge against an AAT displace, get something off the point.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Although, because for the AET to like fully displace it, it'd have to land on the leader, and then he can just move the leader speed 1 and try to keep it on the base contact.
Yeah. Yeah, like especially like how this KP is, I don't think you can displace off the point because there's a sort of a dome there, but
Yeah.
that'll be an open shot.
Yeah, MD Cool Edges.
Actually no, the Mark II gives light cover. This is kind of complicated. It'll
Yeah,
be
so this is heavy.
heavy because it'll
Because
be
you get
light
the one.
cover from the sort of the field, and then you get suppression as well. Yeah, I don't
Well,
think
no,
these guys are.
because it's also heavy because you've got 3 units in cover, 2 in heavy, 1 in light, so you get the heavy.
Oh yeah, very true. Sorry, yeah,
Yeah.
that's 100% how it
So
works.
yeah, the weird wonky ruling they had to put out year 1 because they're like, oh wait.
The other day I had a game where we put the lines down, and it was a B1 unit, and B1 units are like not terrible for cover, but like there's 6 models. There's just so much to keep. Actually, it was 7 because they had a heavy weapon. So many models to keep track of for cover. And I ended up having to slide my guy over slightly to get another model in light cover, so it was light cover instead of heavy, because the model was in open. So if it was in open, it was going to be heavy cover, and then I put in light so that it was light cover.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit, but whatever. Yeah, like it's usually doesn't matter, but I would be interested to see if they change it so that like open models contributed to the light cover set.
Yeah.
Just because like sort of gives the advantage to light cover instead of heavy. I don't know. It for 99% of the time it doesn't matter, but every once in a while it does, and it's just a little bit annoying. You can usually play around it, but
Yeah. I think it's also one of those things that they made the ruling when the game first came out, and used to be a lot more light cover on boards than heavy cover, and we've kind of shifted to having more heavy cover on boards, so it's a lot easier to get that heavy cover.
yeah. The also like there's a lot of rules that are like weird like that where if I had been there when the rules were written, when the when the ancient magic was written, I would have done like to see it been done differently. But now that it's the way it is, just leave it.
Yeah.
Like there's just a lot of rules that are like slightly weird, but they're just a part of the game at this point. So leave them.
We're down to just under 13 minutes left on the clock.
Yeah, this turn is flying. I do think they're gonna get in under the gun now.
Yeah, I
Well,
think
yeah, there's not a lot of thinking, so they're just sort of doing, and that's when you speed things up.
yeah. I think Cool Edge has also realized that if he doesn't get another turn in, he loses, so he needs to be quick.
Now, to be fair, like my Chokin is going to start the next turn on the center point in heavy cover, so he can just aim shoot any droid that tries to get close.
Yes. Yeah.
So this still might be fine.
Is that far enough for the tank to get? Like, can the tank get there to the middle one?
With two moves, yeah, not with one.
Yeah,
So
yeah. It would have
it
to
it
double.
should move shoot this turn, and then next turn it could move shoot or shoot move again. Oh, look at this! I like this. I'll try and block that barricade off.
Yeah.
Probably won't capture that barricade, but forces 2 units to it, or at least it sort of holds Cool Edge up because he has to devote resources to it.
They've got it surrounded. Um,
Yes,
One thing
body
that's cool
block.
for next round is, if it does go to next round, is Cassian's in the pistol config now, and he can just open up the round with Gunslinger and melt some fools.
Yep. Well, I like that green B1 leader is like really looking for a gunslinger shot
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
because gunslinger shots are a really good way to deal with like single unit leaders.
Yep, can also potentially, like if one of this, like the sniper unit too.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
the sniper
Think
units really want to get gunslingered by like a small dice pool.
Yeah, single unit leaders are one of the most annoying things to deal with. Like in my game last night, he was saving really good, and I had him down to where 6 units were hiding with a single unit leader or a single wound left, right? Because he also had some Wookiees, and it's like they were all hiding, so I had to start shooting other units, and I had 6 of them down to 1 health, but I couldn't kill any of them because he just kept making that one extra save.
Yeah, that's why
Like,
I love Gunslinger. I think it's so sweet. Like I love Sabine. Um, I like splitting fire with my clan Ren. Like I love all that flexibility that the list I've been playing has for shit like that. So I'm gonna play at ACO.
they're under the 10-minute mark now. Still a fair
Really.
amount of order tokens to go.
But Yeah, only one rebel and three
Four,
cis, four cis,
four forces.
five cis.
1, 2,
Did
3,
this go yet?
4.
Nope.
Yeah, it looks like just 4. No,
Five.
5. Yeah,
Yeah.
5. There is 5. I mean, we got 9 minutes for 6 activations.
This is a good play.
Yeah, you pull the leader off the objective.
Well, it pulls them off, but you also like you out activate them. So, well, you gotta be careful. This is one of those things where gotta be real careful about how you end the do the order sequencing because you actually want to disengage. Like so, uh, they're gonna pile in. You want to try and make sure there's a gap there somewhere so that your droid leader can disengage and touch the point, and then surround it so that the rebels can't get to it.
Yep. Yep.
And you do not want to be basing the leader here.
Yep. You do know you want to base every other mini but the leader. Because if you don't base every other mini, you allow the leader to potentially move somewhere and still touch the barricade.
Yep.
Like you got 4 droids left, you just put one touching each of these 4 dudes and make the leader snap to you.
Just gotta be careful though, because time is ticking.
Yeah,
And
figuring
he's
this
Yeah.
out is costing him
7.5
time.
minutes.
also just like this is a moment where a lot of experience really helps you. Is
Yeah, you
if
don't have
you've
to
Mhm.
been in
think
this,
through it. Yeah.
yeah, after you've been in this situation a couple of times, oh, he didn't
Oh,
touch Lee.
he didn't touch the leader.
I think he's deliberately not touching him.
Yeah.
But like once you've been in this situation a few times, you basically know how to do it, and you just sort of automatically do your thing.
The other day I got my R2D2 blocked by standby Royal Guards, and I was like, "What the fuck is this? What is happening?"
I one did that to me once. I hate playing R2 unwholesomely, but I did. Played Blast Off and they tried to standby block me because I could disengage. But I was within one move, so I just zapped him, got rid of the standby, and then got to the point. It was fine.
I still think he can move that leader so he's touching the barricade.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
Yeah, he should
underneath
have
it.
had a he like that one droid leader that was close to the leader should have been on the other side, and then that leader wouldn't have been able to touch the barricade. I assume that like that's close enough to be touching. I
Yeah, I
assume his
mean,
intention
because
was
of the hitboxes and stuff, you can't.
yeah.
And they get the
Well,
pooch, right? That was a single move.
that was a 5 minute act. Like time's a ticking.
Yeah, like we're 5. Yeah, that act took 5 minutes.
And just to dodge is surprising.
Like we still have 6 activations to get through, or 5 activations to get through the rest of this turn.
He's doing math.
Ooh, standby.
Yeah, I don't know if the standby helps a ton, but
But it's yeah. better than
something.
nothing. Like
Yeah.
my thing is you always take actions that better your chance of winning the game.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it
Uh,
definitely makes him activate in a different order. I do think putting him on the blue barricade would have been a pretty interesting call because he can't put the tank both places,
yeah.
but the snipe and like he can't. Yeah, I don't know. There's just not enough room. I just don't. I guess I don't know how well the tank would displace everything and how that would mess things up.
Well, so basically the tank could displace one side, like so there's like it's a four-sided box. The tank could displace one side of it, but because it can only displace one side, everything can just sort of move over to the other side of it.
Mm-hmm.
So like because there's enough height on this golden chest, like the tank really can't displace anything off of it
But if he did
efficiently.
it to the blue barricade, then he plays himself right because Mithro gets to move all the units,
Yes. Yeah, so then you can just move all the
move
droids
his
up. Yeah,
guys
like
in and hit their guys out, right? And the BX droids can double move onto this, but there's not enough room for 2 units to get there. So if he just puts Cassian there, I don't know that he can ever lose the blue barricade.
also especially when you have the tank. I guess he's just gonna attack. That's fine too. I forgot that was an option.
Yeah, but those guys already went.
Yeah, but if you can get them, so he's gonna have two aims for this. Um, so he gets three. So now you can take them down probably to half health, and like Cassian could kill them with another shot.
I guess the standby just makes him do something with the tank because if he can't go with the BX until the standby's gone.
Taking the standby basically forces the tank to shoot Cassian. Is basically what happens.
Right. Isn't that good? High shields are I mean the energy shells are down.
Yeah, but you probably want to shoot troopers to get rid of dice. Because like you're probably not killing Cassian.
Right. So
It'd be
don't you want him to shoot Cass? That's what I'm saying. If you're Mithra, don't you want the tank to shoot
Oh,
Cassian?
yeah. As Mithro, yeah, you want Cassian to be
Yeah.
shot.
So I think the standby because then the BX droids can't come out until the tank goes and the tank has to shoot Cassian is pretty
Yeah,
interesting.
but this way also like also just taking three B1s off the board is also like totally valid. I think either option was fine.
If there was, yeah, I don't know. Next, there's no next turn at this point, right?
Don't think so.
We've
I
still
also
got
think
3 more activations to go.
I
Yeah,
also think
minute and a half.
I also think Metrokin has this game if it goes to another turn anyway. Um,
Yeah, because he Cool Edge just has to double move the whole like for the rest of the game, and then
Metrokin
Metro
can just
just
shoot everything.
yeah.
He can also body block too. Like he has a whole another turn of positioning on that KP too to body block everything away. See, there's also at this point, like Coolidge is the only one to activate. You just pass everything.
Right, and get a whole other turn.
Yeah, because you're not winning this turn. So you might as well like right, like this is a point of like only take actions that will help you win the game. You cannot win if it doesn't go to another turn.
Right, so you just go pass, pass, pass. 5 seconds go
Yeah,
by, and you put a card out.
get another turn. Yeah, get
Yeah,
another turn, and then you
30
just have a
seconds.
yeah. Whereas this is just not yeah like
He's spending too much time thinking.
yeah.
Like we're down to 20 seconds now.
Yeah, I mean at this point he knows that this is just it. So, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Just should triple pass.
So they do get to finish this turn, but there's not
Yeah,
going to be
but
enough to do it unless there's some miracle. Because putting this leader here will still like so these when these paths pile in, they're still going to be able to pile in with the leader touching the point.
yeah,
I guess see what he was trying to do, but wasn't effective enough. what he was trying to do was get the BXs to touch the point. I don't even think he didn't have enough activations. Like, and then like move and kill someone's tank. He was trying to Hail Mary it, and there wasn't enough stuff to do it. Also not. He has to tighten up the turn a little bit. He's also a little bit screwed because he can't displace a melee. And even by doing that, they just move over. But
Yeah. Take their suppression, move over, stay on the point.
yeah, that was also an illegal move because he moved over top of the Pathfinder model with the base, but you can't displace a melee.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna let them do their thing. But
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't change the game state at all,
No.
right? Like,
no,
so,
Mitro wins, but it's
yeah.
just he has the right idea here into like
Yeah.
trying to display things off, but
Was this how we saw the AAT go in the Phantom Menace? If it went near a building, it was just like, boom, magnet.
I feel like it was more the like Clone Wars cartoon would have been like that.
Yep. So everyone's all like on the big hype of like if we ever get mounted commanders, right? So does that mean we get Yoda in an AAT from like the first Clone Wars cartoon episode?
So there's also the like uh you can actually nudge the bases of trooper models underneath the tank because display like there's a little bit of an argument right now about models touching each other and stuff, but like you can easily have Cassian touch the point underneath the tank in K2 as well.
Right.
It is I'm moments where Kula just thinking any possible way to do this.
Yeah, it's just not there.
No.
Well, Bobby, looks like you get to play the most high pressure game that you'll have ever played yet so far.
You think so?
Your
What
your team's fate rests on you. This puts his team in the AA5 team at
Wait,
2-2.
who do you think won this game?
Oh, sorry. This puts you guys at 3-1.
Yeah, this
Three
puts us
and
3-1.
one, I meant. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. I mixed up the team scores.
I mean, yeah, that's why I was so invested in this game. I wouldn't stay up till 1 a.m. otherwise.
Yeah.
I was like, do I have to worry? GG on points, tie VP.
Okay.
I might go to their voice chat to sort this out.
Yeah, I think you should let them know.
I mean,
So I'm gonna go. Don't join to put it on stream, but I'm just gonna go sort this out.
Yep.
I just first actually just figure out what exactly they did there.
Yeah.
But if I sort it out quickly, I'll come back and talk it through with you.
Well, at least tell us who won. I mean, I guess if he can't fit K2 in there.
Yeah, that's interesting. Um, yeah, I have no idea what they were doing there.
Yeah, I do wish he didn't move this Mark II up. I feel like that took up too much real estate on his end, and like wasn't helping at all. To just like standby would have been better.
Yeah, knowing that it wasn't going to make it, I honestly would
Yeah, I
have
would have
even moved it
yanked it
out
back.
out a bit, right? Like not even back, just out, maybe like over to where the order token is to the right.
Mm-hmm.
Just because then you're not blocking yourself, and next turn because you get repositioned, right? So then you can just pivot and move there. Yeah. I don't know, man. You might be in the most high pressure game
I might be
for your team. Yeah.
on Coruscant. This is a trip.
Yeah, I have no idea what they're doing over there, but all right.
All I'm doing is looking at the clock telling me that I should have gone to sleep 2 hours ago.
Yeah, I'm looking at the clock saying it's like you should go to sleep now so that you can actually work tomorrow.
Oh, Zach. Um, this is the end of round 4, which was the final round of the game. The
Yeah, they
tank,
timed out at
the
round 4.
tank displaced the center point, and it matters.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm back. So, thing we all completely forgot about. K2 is still incognito.
So he can't claim.
Cannot be touching that point and get a victory point for it.
Oh dang.
So the tank, we just sort of like tank couldn't move over the pathfinders, but like that was just what he was moving around. But like the tank could touch the point. So
Yeah.
basically, tank in the BXs is 2, Cassian and the pathfinders is 2, and yeah, game goes to Coolidge on points.
Dang. Yep. Should have shot with K2 earlier.
Yep.
Yep.
Or taken the standby, right? Because then he just automatically fires if anything moves.
He
He
yeah.
had to double move to get to the center point, but yeah.
Or
So
he should have voluntarily dropped his incognito at the beginning of the turn.
yeah. Um, or he could have just had it just mark 2 a little bit closer and been fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yep, loses on victory points.
Game of
So,
seven
yeah.
wonders. Okay. Well, thanks for hanging.
Well, so good luck in your game.
Yeah, thanks, dude.
Oh.
Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, cool.
I'll see
Anyway,
if my opponent wants to stream it. Okay. Yeah, I'll catch you guys later. I gotta go to bed.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
for
sounds
sure.
good.
Have a good one.